Oh my God, we're back again. Back again, back again, back again, back again, back again, back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody say, body say, body say, body say, body say, body say, body say. Gonna bring the flavor, show you how, 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 show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Answer now. Answer down, answer down, answer down, answer down, answer down. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody. With a bad little mommies, you know I wanna rock your body. You know I wanna do some things, like tear that pussy out the frame. We some top flow, penthouse, sweet type niggas. I am not a rapper, I'm a poom poom killer. Slim, handsome, rich head nigga. No, we can't forget about the bitch head niggas. So if you love the game, then pull them titties out. We got everything you need for you to rock your body now.
When I talk to the shrink, you better not blink. 99 problems that start with the kink. One in a pink, one in a stink. When you shave it down, is it still mink? Come sue me, me to me. Surviving, yay, come shoot me. You wanna color me bad like a cool G. You wanna pack me up like a 2-me. Everybody waiting for me to say the wrong thing. Okay, you the king, Burger King.
We got everything you need for you to rock your body now.
Girl, for me like you supposed to, and don't be in your feelings, I can't post you. Double like pics, fix you.
Yo, what's up? Holy shit. So, wow. Okay, sorry. Dude, I sped home. Listen, I've been hyped up for this, okay? This is gonna be big. Big stuff. Big stuff happening. And you know what? I'm not super hyped up for it because, you know, bad stuff is happening, okay? But, it's big, okay? And you know me. You know me. Come on. Alright. Okay, so, we're not even gonna fuck around, dude. We're not gonna fuck around. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not doing any segments or anything beforehand. We're just getting straight into it, okay? So. Okay. Essentially, Parlo and Internet Adjacent have a dispute with one another, okay? This was behind the scenes for a very long time, and it is now going public. Alright? Let's get into it. So we're going to start out with the doc that Internet Adjacent made. After that, we're going to look at Parlo's doc. And then finally, we're going to have Internet Adjacent call in, and then Parlo call in. So I want to read both of them out and kind of get through that before we have those call-ins where they can respond or dispute or whatever. Parlo does not want to be in a call with Internet Adjacent, and so either we are going to have IA server muted while Parlo's talking and then let him dispute or respond, or we're just going to let him, you know, be the way it is. Also, I'm going to try to look at chat the best I can. If you guys end up having any questions for either party, that's fine. The best way to do it, if you really want me to see it, is super chat it. That's not even just me being a Jew. It's partially me being a Jew, but that's just the best way for me to see it because I can't guarantee I'll see all your chats. All right, let's do it.
Flavor
Here we go.
raided, by the way.
Thank you for the raid, Flavor. Really appreciate it, man. All right, here we go. This has been a long time coming, guys. Let's get the fuck into it. All right. So, keep the nice little background here. Hold on one second. Let me just format everything because I'm a little fucking retard. There you go.
Some guy called Alex Everett left a comment about this.
I'm so glad. All right, here we go. Let me zoom. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Let's see. Yep. Great. Hi, Big Sexy. I'm doing well. Here we go. So this is IA. Hello, everyone. This is really not something that I ever wanted to go public, but due to unfortunate circumstances, it appears though it has. If you are seeing this through this Google Doc, then I am making it fully aware of the drama that has been going on with me and fellow YouTuber Parlo behind the scenes. This isn't something I'm happy about being public, but obviously it was inevitable at some point. What I don't appreciate is how this entire situation has played out. As most people know, I was really good friends with the fellow content creator Parlo. In the public eye, I was a YouTube accomplice who, while critical of his past actions, had always maintained a stance that since I hadn't been around for his past, that I felt I was unfair to judge him for. The reality of the situation is that me and him were much better than just friends behind the scenes. We were close friends. Closer than friends. You can see where this is going. Despite us being so close, I at no point allowed my relationship with him to cloud my judgment. There are examples, even DMs, of me expressing my frustration with how he acted. The main point is I always had people tell me that he never listened to people and that he was kind of a spurg, but it was never behavior that I myself had ever seen. And when the pyro thing had happened and people seemed to be at the very last willing to tolerate him again, it wasn't until after I had cut contact with him that I was fully aware of some of the other stuff he did, like posting nudes on r/femboy and shit like that. I genuinely wasn't aware of how much of a schizo he is until I flat out saw it in my face, which we will talk about in a bit. But yes, me and Parlo had some type of closer than friends relationship. Looking back now, it was incredibly stupid of me to entertain this guy as anything more than a schizo, and I see that now. I want to apologize to anyone who tried to warn me of who this guy was. I deserve all the shit I get for putting my trust in him. But I have alluded to it and made it clear that me and Parlo are no longer friends. I would like to delve into that further by explaining exactly what happened between me and Parlo that caused us to go from really close to full-on ops. Why did he say that? Okay. We had planned out a trip to see each other on October 11th to the 15th. Me, him, and an anonymous third party would be staying at an Airbnb for a few days. Okay, pretty boy. Just landed in New York in 2 hours before start flying to London. What time do you get here? Because if I don't get the last train back by 12, I'll have to pay $100 for an Uber. I have no idea. I leave 8:45 New York time, and it says I arrive at 8:45 local time. And then I have to ride the tube to get there. Before we actually get into that, something important I want to talk about is a GoFundMe that Parlo made just a week before we had this trip. Please help. 560 euro donated. This is Parlo's GoFundMe. Okay. I was not even aware that such a GoFundMe had even existed, so you can imagine my surprise when I found out it was only a week after he created a GoFundMe, literally begging to help pay for food and bills, that he sent me $1,000 in order to pay for my plane ticket to London. So this is to pay for, as you can see, rent, food, and monthly bills, and then he paid $1,000 to fly him out to London. Okay, and this is receipts. So he got paid for that, sure, all right. This is besides the fact that he also purchased a brand new gaming laptop, which is also at least $1,000. If you are in a position where you need to make a GoFundMe, then maybe you shouldn't be paying for trips like this. The only thing I paid for, as I was told the entire trip would be paid for, is the Airbnb, which becomes relevant later. But yes, I arrived in London on the 11th, where I found my way to the Airbnb, and one of the first things me and Parlo did together was have sex. All right, just getting straight into it. Have y'all made it yet? At Internet Adjacent. 11-minute call. I'm going to make you blow as quick as humanly possible. You have no idea. Option 2. That's amazing. Do you want to do it shortly after I get there or right when I arrive? I'm hungry and I need to eat. I don't know if that's literal or that's referring to something. And then he just says shower gel. Okay. Then there's another call about 40 minutes later. Sex tonight or no? Yeah. Okay. But I can't eat until then, and I'm starving and hungry as fuck. Oh, I get it now. Okay. We'll do it and then go out to grab dinner. I haven't eaten in 32 hours. Do you guys still want to meet at the station? Yeah. How long do you think you have left? What's around for food? Have you checked on maps? How long do you think you have left? Not that long. I haven't seen. Why don't we just order stuff? I'm almost there. On Deliveroo. Like pizza? Next stop is Williston. I'm here. 21-minute call. Some picture. Then just doxing the Airbnb. Epic. Alright. Again. Okay, so that's the train station they were at. He's walking over there. Taking the stairs. Dude, we get to follow him throughout this entire process. That's awesome. When do you want to do it? Before food. How long do you want to do it for? As long as we can last, I guess. If we should before 12, because that's when Domino's closes. Okay, give me a bit. Up. To, I guess, the picture that Parlo sent. I don't know what that's supposed to be. What do we do about blank, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. Anonymous third party. I know. We can do it another time if you want. We can do it on the 4th or 3rd day, maybe. It's up to you. I'd rather tonight, though. I can't ask him to dip for a bit. Okay. I'm gonna stick my dick so far down. Thank you for the 5, small PP. To talk for a week, okay? Appreciate it, man.
Stream. Saul, shut up.
So true. Me and Parlo had sex, and while this is definitely probably an overshare, it becomes relevant when you hear what he tried to accuse me of later. Thank you for the 2.
Sorry y'all gotta see my cringe DMS.
Okay, Internet Adjacent with the 2. Great. Probably an overshare. It becomes relevant when you hear what he tried to accuse me of later. Before we even had sex, he said he wasn't sure if he was in the mood to do full penetrative stuff, just mouth stuff, which is what I was fine with. Okay. After we did stuff for a while, I did pose the question if he wanted to go all the way since we already had a condom. He at first said he was down, so I took the condom out. That was when he said that he actually was too tired to do anything like that tonight. I told him that was fine. He put the condom on the shelf, and that's where it was the entire trip. Okay. The next day after that, a group of us tried meeting up with him at Oxford Station. While doing that, I messaged him about what we did. Hope you had fun last night. I did, X. Where do you think I can meet y'all? We're outside Oxford Station. The way Parlo has tried to frame this is that I ripped the condom out and told him that we should go further, saying he felt peer pressured. But this is an out and about lie, as I didn't do that. I didn't rip open the condom in an attempt to pressure him into sex, and after, if he wanted to and he said no, I dropped it entirely, so I have zero idea where this narrative is coming from. Okay. The second day, we talked briefly about the prospect of doing something sexual, but after he said he wasn't down for it since he was tired, I once again dropped the topic. Do you still want to try topping? I could, but I'm stressy about it all. I don't know if I'll be able to stay hard. Okay. Oh, alright. We can try something tonight before you leave to see. I kind of want to blow you in this outfit, TBH. That'll tell us if you can stay hard. I was actually about to leave pretty soon since I keep falling asleep. Thank you for the 263.
Small PP sucks. His hair looks greasier than oil.
So true. I was actually about to leave pretty soon since I keep falling asleep. Haha. Oh, that's okay. I'm not all that horny right now, ICL. I was yesterday, though. I don't think I've jerked in 4 to 5 days. Okay. Do you want me to walk you to the station? I can't take the train. It's too late. Train stop at 12. Oh, shit. I have to take the Uber now. Oh, damn. The reason why this is important is because according to the anonymous third party who was at the Airbnb, apparently when recounting this story, Parlo showed off part of this DM and later said that despite him saying that he wasn't down for sex, that I still pursued him sexually after that. Below is what I was told Parlo was so far down your throat you're not going to be able to talk for a week, okay?
Saul, the joke is on you. I no longer have long hair.
Thank you, small PP. I was told Parlo was sitting around to other people while he was recounting the story. Do you still want to try topping? I could. Okay, so that's the... He's saying that that was supposedly what Parlo was sitting around. And we already read that. According to the neutral third party, I was told that Parlo even said after this DM that I still pursued him sexually in text messages, even though in reality, all I actually did was offer to walk him to the train station. Since it was around midnight and our Airbnb was in a sketchy part of London, I was trying to make sure that he got to his station safe. This is once again a situation that I have zero idea why he would lie about, as it does nothing but make him look bad. The third day is a big one.
So far down your throat, you're not going to be able to talk for a week.
Thank you, Saul.
TTS is a mistake, Himpy.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna read Dono's after. I'm gonna read Dono's in between docs. All right. The third day is the big one, as this is the day he tries to claim all types of shit. On the third day, we agreed that we would be doing some kind of sex thing. We had plans that night to go out clubbing and drinking. We agreed that we would leave at sometime around 6:30 to go into London and go to clubs. Because of this, I asked Parlo when he would potentially want to have sex, and this was the conversation that followed. You up? Call lasted a few seconds. I was gonna grab the cord to your Xbox. Yeah, sorry, I was recording. Do you want me to blow you before or after the club? Before, I think. Think. Alright, just let me know whenever and I can go change. Do you want me to change and we can do stuff? Blank down to head out for a bit. I just want to chill now on Minecraft. Alright. After he said he just wanted to chill for a bit, I was chill with that. We all sat around the Airbnb either on our laptops that we brought or on our phones. He even wanted me to review his new pyro stuff. Okay. The reason as to why this is relevant is because he tried to say later I peer pressured him in this instance since I was constantly walking in and out of the bedroom. He tried to say that this was me trying to, like, quote, allure him or some shit. In reality, the reason I was going in and out of the bedroom is that it had the only outlet in the Airbnb where I could use my phone. There were 2 outlets in the living room and 1 in the bedroom. One of the entire outlets in the living room was being taken up by Parlo, and the other outlet had 1 socket that did not work and another socket being taken up by an extender. Below is a DM of me messaging the host of the B&B about the wall socket that didn't work. Okay, so that's, like, really important, apparently. Got it? IA has played these games before. Long history of identical allegations. I mean, maybe you should DM me about that. I don't know. If you have proof and evidence. Otherwise, it's just hearsay. I don't know. The last 4. Floor. Blank. Keybox code. Blank. Hey, blank. Just letting you know that one of the outlets next to the TV isn't working right now. Okay? I guess this, like, helps his story of why he was going back and forth. Vape break.
We love vaping.
We do. For those of you asking why I didn't just plug my phone charger into the extender, I am an American. Okay? And my phone charger is different from the other sockets they have in the UK. On the second day while we were out in Oxford, I actually went and had to buy a special plug-in so that my phone would work. Below is my phone charger and the plug. Thank God he's providing this.
Oh, thank goodness, dude. I was gonna say, like, yeah, you don't charge your phone in America. You just buy a new one when it dies.
That's so true. That's so true. That's how rich we are. All right, so he got this epic adapter. which everybody does when they go to a foreign country.
It's like the cheapest adapter I've seen.
Oh, of course. That's what I had, dude. All right. The reason this is important is because if you know anything about power outlets or extenders, you know that plugging an extender into another extender doesn't make it work. So even if I tried plugging it into a working outlet in the living room, it didn't work. The only outlet I was able to use is the one in the bedroom. This was why I was walking in and out of the room, not because I was trying to lure Parlo into sex, despite him saying he wasn't down right now, but because my phone was in there. And while I was dressing up in an quote-unquote interesting outfit, the reason why was because it was what I was planning on wearing out to clubs anyway. After we all sat around for a bit, I went into the bedroom and told him to come in here. Here's his response. Come in here, :3. I do want my pee-pee sucked, lol. I might be a lil horny, but you have to be delicate. Okay.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Okay.
He's gay.
Where is the... Fuck, Parlo, give me the fucking... Where's your doc, buddy? Come on. I'm gonna... Wait, let me just message Parlo real quick. I'm almost done with iDoc. Give me yours. Alright. We then did sexual stuff again, in which he complimented my appearance and far more about me. After we were done, we decided to lay in bed for a bit. Side note, but he actually tried talking to me about how him constantly checking his own thread on Kiwi Farms and the r/YouTube drama subreddit is justified. Oh, compose yourself, compose yourself. Which, yes, is something I told him constantly just to ignore, but in retrospect, the fact that he tried saying all of that after we literally just had sex is the most lolcow shit I could imagine. But because of how long he was dicking around and working on the pyro document, by the time we were done, we only had an hour before we had to leave to go to the clubs. We obviously both needed to shower, so I suggested we take a shower together to save time. We did so. When we came out of the shower, our third party had already left and texted me saying that he had already gone out to the train station. Okay. Because of how he worded it, we both thought he was mad at us. He started breaking down and crying at the thought of our friend being upset about us. When I tried to hug him, he told me to fuck off.
He's in waiting.
Okay, well, he doesn't... I'm not bringing him in until after both docs are done. I'll tell him that. Or, why don't you tell him that? Can you go into waiting and I'll drag you back in?
Alright.
Thanks. And blame me for everything that's wrong. I simply went quiet, walked in the bedroom, and laid in bed. Because I figured this was not worth my time. Instead of trying to figure out what was going on, he immediately put all the blame onto me. He then got upset that I wasn't speaking to him, said I have a great friend group and some other bullshit, before leaving the Airbnb. After a while of laying on bed, I fell asleep. I woke up hours later to Parlo and our friend walking into the Airbnb, while our friend said nothing. The first thing Parlo said wasn't anything about emotions or anything like that. It was, you know, I never said I'd pay you back for the Airbnb. Then when I pushed him on his response, it was, you have to consider my financial situation. Which, like I said earlier, if he's so poor to the point that he has to make a GoFundMe for food and pills, then why spend $1,000 on a plane ticket and a vacation? Maths are not mathing. This was also when Parlo said, I feel like you peer pressured me into sex a lot of times. Which I have provided my DMs. I was being told an entirely different story this whole time. It's only now, after thinking he pissed someone else off, does he say all this crazy shit about me. I was then told that we would call tomorrow about this before the two of them left. That was October 13th. It is now November 8th, and we still have not had that call. The next day, I reached out to some drama YouTubers to get their perspective on this situation, and that made their way back to Parlo and our mutual friend, to which, as I was later informed, Parlo's response was to at first say he wanted me to sign an NDA, but also to make a Google Doc on me. Not about the situation, but on different, entirely random shit. Below is the message our mutual friend sent about the NDA. Let me make sure everything's okay in here. Okay. Finishing it means in the context of IA? Shut the fuck up, Sam. I'll drag Sam. as well. Okay.
What's up?
Hello, Himpleton.
Hello, Sam. So,
Bro, I narrowly avoided that, man. That could have been me.
yeah, Sam was invited on this trip.
Yeah,
Well-
not that I would have ever gone, by the way. All right, let's clarify that. Barely know internet adjacent and don't particularly get on with Parlo, but I narrowly avoided the rapening. It
Yeah.
could have been bad.
It could have been any one of us.
Yeah.
Let me just tell... you already told IA that I'm not dragging him until the docs are done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Not
Guam
about
go in chat. Can you drop the doc link?
Dude, given the fact that there are
Still
like...
fun.
Given the fact that there are 11 people on it right now, the link is visible, dude. You just have to look a little hard. You got this, Guamgo. I believe in you, buddy. All right. So, then... Parlo's response was to at first say he wanted me to sign an NDA, but also make a Google Doc on me. Not about this situation, but entirely random shit. On different entirely random shit. Below is the message our mutual friend sent me about the NDA. As per protocol, I was not to talk to you until 48 hours after this to allow minds to be cleared. We will arrange a call with you and P at an agreeable time, with me as mediator, to provide a passive and mutually agreeable conclusion, and what future measures will, if any, be taken. The possibility of an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, is being discussed. However, nothing will be done until mutual agreement, with obvious conflict of interest. Blank. I await your response. In regards to that Google Doc, despite me requesting multiple times to see it and actively being told people were annoyed that I discovered its existence, I still have never seen the contents of what he tries to claim about me. With that being said, I've been told what he tries to claim about me. While I cannot really debunk a Google Doc, I have yet to see what some of the things I have been told are in there. Then Parlo, I have zero problems debunking everything you are going to try to throw my way. The contents of that Google Doc are either entirely hypocritical coming from Parlo, it would be exposing a very personal side of me that's beyond fucked up to show to the world, but it's also just downright lies that at most take me 10 minutes to debunk. In fact, I was told that he only made it as a contingency to if I went public and that he had tears in his eyes while writing it. Like I said, I have zero issue debunking it. Just like I'm sure you have zero issue exposing private shit about my life to the public if what I'm told about that Google Doc is true. Now, I have actively tried to have a call with Parlo before. The day after it happened, I messaged him saying he would call me and another person later. IA. You and blank will call me and blank later. This was the first time I tried to call him. When a second call was scheduled to happen, Parlo ended up running away from that one as well. All you had to do was wait till tomorrow. Nope, he doesn't want to call anymore. Damn, rejected. Despite being slandered by this guy, and despite people in my close friend group believing his accusations without ever even asking my side, I have been immediately fucking charitable to this guy, and anyone else who's been a part of this. I've had multiple people tell me just to take this public, but I held off from doing so because I wanted to try to settle this privately. But after I've been told he's lying about his side of the story, lying about the accusation in general, and being told that this story is still being shared around in private, even to people who have no reason to know about this, I am at the point where I feel like if I do not defend myself, then this will just spread like wildfire and his narrative will be the popular one. This has affected my friendships, my YouTube connections, and it's all over something I didn't even do. Like I said, I really don't like how much of my life that I currently have to put on the internet. Trust me, unlike Parlo, I would rather intricate details of my sex life not be online for the world to see. But unfortunately, this is the situation I was put in, and it comes down to my reputation and my ability to keep creating content, or face the public whipping, which I not only will absolutely receive for this situation, but honestly deserve. I am someone who has the ability to own up to my errors, someone who has the ability to admit when he does something stupid, and this is that. I have a very lax view when it comes to the internet. I genuinely try to get along with everyone and give everyone a fair shot unless they're completely irredeemable. Through the course of this situation, it has become clear to me that my chill and laid-back view when it comes to talking to people and trying to befriend other creators. I had been told that I am far too friendly with other people, and it has been clear to me that at this point it is detrimental to have my online career. I would like to apologize to anyone who tried warning me that this guy was a schizo who would stab me in the back at the first chance possible. You guys were looking out for me and I should have listened. I'm sorry. While this situation is not one I'm happy to talk about, while it is immensely embarrassing, I've also realized that sometimes you fuck up and you gotta roll up with the punches. I'm definitely going to take this as a learning experience and not going to be anywhere near as friendly towards people going forward. It is literally a detriment to my career. I'm going to continue to keep making content. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I want it to be 100% clear that yes, the allegations that Parlo has tried to make against me or anything else I 100% know he's going to try and pull off is absolute bullshit. If he tries to push out new lies or new bullshit, then I'm going to respond accordingly. I refuse to let this chode chomper ruin my career. I understand that people are definitely going to rip me on this, that they're going to look at me in a different light, and honestly, I'd be kind of disappointed if they didn't. If people have questions or they just want to interview me, I'm not scared to answer anything. The truth always comes to light, and I have zero qualms being as open as possible when it comes to this situation. I understand that this will be a stain on my reputation going forward, since I tried to treat this guy like a friend and I honestly deserve nothing less. All of the warning signs were there and I should have listened. As for you, Parlo, I am genuinely one of the few people who gave you a fair shot, who actually gave a shit about you. I feel like you only used me because of my platform and for my body, and frankly, I'm disgusted by who you are. You are the reason why everyone hates you. You are the reason why you are considered a lockout, and I think gambling your career on a situation like this is not a good move like you think it is. Anyways, I don't think I have anything else. If more shit comes out, then I will respond accordingly. But as for now, I think that's everything. Thank you for reading this. All right.
Bro, I mean, I've just got to say real quick. I mean, as soon as he mentioned public whipping, after seeing those messages between him and Parlo, I don't think he would mind a public whipping. I've got to say.
Real.
After reading those horny sexual messages, I think he would be completely fine with something like that. So at least he's being honest and open.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true, Sam. So fucking true.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through donos real quick while we wait for Parlo to send the doc, because he's been working on it this entire time, apparently. All right, so let me just do this right here. All right. So, let's see. TTS's Mistake Hempy, thank you. Insert random funny message from Soul Skibbity for a 4 months membership. Appreciate it, bud. Alex should call in. Yeah, he will get the opportunity to after IA and Parlo do. And then IA says, I'll debunk the Alex stuff in a bit. Okay. Great. So, Parlo send it. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. So, going straight into the Parlo doc. And as you could probably predict, because it's Parlo, this is going to be probably long. All right, this is going to be a little longer. Because it's Parlo. Let's be real. Right? All right. Wolfgang/internet adjacent situation. This document covers allegations and topics pertaining to sexual predation, zoophilia, sexual coercion, unwanted sexual contact, suicidal ideation, suicide baiting, emotional manipulation, image leaking, and privacy invasion, sexually transmitted diseases. All right, so let's get into it. Internet
I
adjacent.
was saying in DMs he gave him AIDS.
I don't think it was AIDS, but we'll find out. Internet adjacent / Wolfgang is a commentary YouTuber with 14.4k subscribers, known for creating topic-based commentary and news channel that covers ongoing internet drama and situations. He was also once a close associate and a friend. Internet adjacent, right here. Here's the shit. There you go. Internet adjacent has a history of prior allegations that pertaining to his behavior during Anthrocon 2024, such as alleged sexual assault and unwarranted advances towards others. Well, so we have 2 docs. I guess we should probably get into this first. This one's short, so let's do it. Awesome. Okay, so apparently, as you can see, he was accused of sexual assault when he went to Anthrocon, which is like a furry convention. Awesome. I really hoped all of this was over months ago, but I guess Wolfgang's Taken is bent on being the parasite on my well-being, so here's my final statement. First and foremost, here's my original thread. Since we're getting back into this, and since I'm not in the business of subtweeting, here's the thread on Wolfgang's Taken that I typed way back from the AC. When you go to a con, please respect boundaries, have some agency, and don't expect others to cater their experiences to you. I really don't want to do Babysitter Con again. You followed me around for most of the con and dramatically subtweeted us when we left you alone. You made me uncomfortable, you made my friends uncomfortable, and you would not stop asking to hook up with me, even though I tried to get you to take the hint every time. You felt up on me in front of people till I had to DM you and say I wasn't feeling it. You weren't even invited to Yin's Fur. Don't know what that is. You literally asked to come along. I had already made plans with friends, and I said sure. We all told you it was a sex club so many times. There were people mostly naked in line, and you had every opportunity to leave the second we went inside, but you stayed, complained, and continued to ask me to go somewhere more private with you. When I said no, you drank half a twisted tea, I guess, and threw up. Then you asked to make out with me again, twice, still flirting. You refused to leave until I bought you a Gatorade and called you an Uber, saying you were only there for me, even though I never invited you. My friends had encouraged you to leave. You drunk tweeted the entire way home. I had to tell you to delete them. Then, when you got back to the Airbnb, you started DMing me and said that we'd somehow led you into a sexual situation and hadn't informed you, and that I'd basically forced you to drink. I didn't want you there, and I should have ditched you. And then went on to whine and say I ruined everything so many times that I had to tell you to stop or I wouldn't forgive you. Which I don't. Stop lying and take accountability. I hope this is enough drama for your Furry Discourse YouTube channel. Also, consent is revocable. I'm sorry if you took me letting you off easy and constantly putting it off as me leading you on. I thought swatting your hand away in the back of the Uber those couple of times would have given you a hint. Our convo the night of Jensfer. I'm hoping that'll be shown in bigger. And then question mark. Don't swat my hand away. Didn't swat my hand away. Just pulled it away and said you're fine to hook up, but not for physical affection. You could have just said no. Oh. Anyways, after Anthrocon, I did not want. I guess we're not getting these because these are tiny. But whatever. After Anthrocon, I did not want to talk to Wolfgang. Nothing at all was public. I'd only talked about it to a couple of close friends and my parents. My thread was a vent in my notes app. He could have left it. Mutual friends started cutting him off because they'd also witnessed his behavior, and he decided to pin that on me. So he reached out with a DM, and I didn't respond. He could have left it. A couple of days passed, and he reached out once again asking if we could talk. I told him I didn't want to talk about it. Then he asked again, and I told him again that I didn't want to talk to him. He could have left it. Benny, can you and I please talk? What do you want to talk about? 3 blocked messages. I'm not really interested in talking about it. It'll be better for both of us if we leave it at that. 2 blocked messages. I really don't want to talk about it anymore. It's a little weird that he blocked these messages and didn't show them, though, I will say. Eventually, he said something along the lines of, I don't know what happened, which pissed me off. So I blew up and told him exactly what he'd done. Then I blocked him, and he could have left it. We aren't friends. You're welcome for the Gatorade. I'm in jam. I thought we were friends when you said you wanted to hook up with me. You asked, I said sure, and then no, and then no, 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 and no. Okay. And then block. Some more time passed, and I learned that he teased a thread/doc on myself and others, all to garner attention and vindicate his public image when nothing had gone public, which I still don't understand. Naturally, it backfired because he was obviously in the wrong, and between that and my eventual response, my original thread, he got a lot of backlash. He could have just left it. The video is something that I can't not respond to. This is my personal shit that has affected me deeply, and seeing it repeatedly hyped up, soft dropped, and publicly used for interactions is gross to me. I'm aware, though, that this isn't new behavior for him. As expected with the drama content creator who's already been torn down for other situations I won't name. Just gonna say this, I can always do a part 2 on any video I do. LOL, :3. And I think that the video, I've heard tell of this video, but I'm not sure if it's super relevant. I think it's just saying that these people suck before any of this had come out. Not once in my thread or anywhere publicly beyond a small circle of friends did I even use the word sexual assault. And that was a result of Wolfgang making everything public, and he was upset that people recognized the situation for what it was and called him out. That's not my doing. Any and all that public backlash was a direct result of his decision to make it public. If I asked me to watch the video when he calls in, I will, obviously. But we're doing this right now. In the video, he used the word rape. During the only call we've had about it since I blocked him in July, I told him explicitly that I was mad that word was being used because it's sensationalizing what happened to me, and I know for a fact that he was listening. Now, he isn't above sensationalizing what he's being slandered with, putting words in my mouth even though we all acknowledge that's not what it was. Not once did I use that word other than to renounce it. He used it several times, saying I should have gotten a rape kit if I was so upset. Okay, and then here's a clip from this call.
Still, really, you should have known that the absence of a yes is not a yes. And that includes, that's like a hookup is a separate thing from grabbing my hand or rubbing up on my thigh while there's other people around. Like, it's not an all-encompassing, you have consent to do whatever you want to me now.
He just doesn't even respond to that. Okay.
So do we get it? What is it?
And if anyone comes to me and starts using the word rape or anything, I'll tell them that's not what it was. Because that also makes me mad, since that's not what it was, and I don't want people hyping my personal shit
I know,
up
it's quiet.
that I
Hold
didn't
on.
want aired in the first place into something way bigger than it. Like, that makes me almost equally mad.
No.
Sensationalized.
No, not tonight, but
again, like, the publicity wouldn't have been there in the
PARLO.
first place. I had no intention of making that public.
we're in serious mode. Alright, no intentions of making that public until Wolfgang spoke up. Alright. I was the one who took this photo. Weird you'd introduced your friends to someone you said raped you. You say raped you. I guess IA says this. In regards to what actually happened, he put his hand on my thigh, put his arms around me, rubbed my back, laid in my lap, grabbed my hand on a couple of different occasions, and leaned in for a kiss, all without asking and ignoring me, not reciprocating. Each time I physically reacted, and if we were around others, DM'd him privately, nicely, to stop, because I had not agreed to any of the affection. The first time he did this was when we were in a room with 2 others, though he says we were alone. I stared at the back of Jam's head the entire time, hoping he wouldn't notice. I also messaged Wolfgang to stop, which would not have been necessary if we had been alone. I turned him down more bluntly several times in person, offers to hook up in the con bathroom or otherwise. I don't think any of it was done with any malicious intent. I have said it before on call with him, I have no problem saying it now. However, there is no accountability on his end. He's held his mental health and self-harm over the heads of everyone involved. I don't know if
Did
we'd
he
be
ever
able...
say specifically no, though?
No. Let's
This is
get through
very
this doc.
important. You got to.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's not true. Flatly, you gotta mute for now, bud.
No. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
I'm
why
not
are
kidding.
you messaging them online, but like not saying it in person? You know what I mean?
Because it's in a public situation. We're not doing this right now.
I don't give a fuck. I would have called it out. But yo,
Alright.
you gotta stop, bro.
Okay. I don't know if we'd be able to tonight with Jam coming back. Yeah, it's all right. We got 2 more days. We could shower together? Question mark. Oh. Oh. Throwback. I didn't swat my hand away, just pulled it away and said you're fine to hook up. Or didn't swat my hand away, just pulled it away and said you're fine to hook up, but not for physical affection. You could have just said no. Threatening to off himself with a hose on call because I defended myself in July. There was never accountability. His first fake apology to me was, I'll take the L on this one.
Oh my god, this guy's a freak.
He's also since said that the situation made him homicidal. I'm tired of constantly being implicated in things that aren't my doing. Apparently just paying for his food over which he bragged about his dick size was a romantic advance. Him meeting my friends because he'd subtweet me angrily every time I left him alone meant I enjoy his company. Saying I'd be down sometime to him asking me once after looking at my phone and seeing I was on bark. Okay, no rush. Then churning him down every other time was constant to touch me whenever. was consent to touch me whenever with people around. I never initiated anything, nor did I want to at all immediately after I got to know him. And if I was bent on hanging out with him, why did he meet a bunch of my friends and I never met a single one of his? Because he came to the con without a plan and followed me around like a lost puppy. That's furry humor right there, guys.
That's crazy.
Once again, he made me uncomfortable.
That's just a little dog joke for everyone.
True. Once again, he made me uncomfortable. He made my friends uncomfortable, and the droning name dropping and bragging about his social media status led to questions like, "Why is this guy following you around?" He was so upset with being alone at a con I made no obligation to spend with him, as I just met him, that he subtweeted myself and others, left the group chat, and even went to a bar to feign sulking after the fursuit parade. And yes, he did carry my backpack for me for a bit, because he was always there. Okay, and then half an image. Sexual assault is not only that, but it's further expanded upon in the video. How after this, they tried to get close to me, like introducing me to friends, spending all day of day 2 with me, 427. You subtweeted us every time we left you alone. Yeah? What the fuck? He asked if he could come along to Yensfer because of the aforementioned guilt tripping. I said sure, as an addendum to plans I made with friends weeks in advance. We would be in a group setting, so I wasn't too worried. He admitted that he knew it was a bathhouse and omitted the part where we all told him exactly what a bathhouse is. People were wearing kink gear in line and the bouncer was mostly naked, and he's saying he didn't know it was a sex event until he was inside. Even still, he could have left at any point. Casey, Benny, and I had been planning to go to Yensfer, and Wolfgang accompanying us seemed to be a last-minute addition. While outside the club, I asked him if he was comfortable going to such an event, as all of the other people in line were dressed in harnesses and revealing club attire, and Yensfer was an 18-plus event taking place at a gay bathhouse. He said he was fine and followed us in. Okay. When did it become our responsibility to stay with you? I've barely known you for even a week now. You made my friends uncomfortable, you made me uncomfortable, and you only stopped feeling up on me after I told you I wasn't into it, then kept asking repeatedly while you were with me at the con, which was like the entire con. And the lying about the sex club pisses me off because we all told you so many times. Mind you, you kept on asking to make out with me after you threw up and refused to go home. I never even invited you, you just asked to come. I'm younger than him and I'm not even his friend, but I was expected to know his personal boundaries and tell him when to leave an event he invited himself to. As uncomfortable as he was, he wasted no time in asking if we could go somewhere private and disappearing when I said no. Eventually, he showed up drunk off of half a twisted tea, threw up in the bathroom sink, and then asked more than once if he could kiss me, saying that he was only there for me. I bought him a Gatorade and called him an Uber, but we still had to convince him to leave. Before the event, he tweeted that he was going out and might tweet something stupid, then drunk tweeted the whole way home. Both times, I advised him to delete them. After he berated me for apparently guiding him into an unsafe situation, he asked for one-on-one time again, which I ignored. Where you at? You're cute. Shows an Uber. Dude, don't live tweet it. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Deleted them. Sorry. Door locked. I got in. Never mind. At the place. Please don't be mad. I'm not mad. No, it was lame anyway. We took a shower and left. I know, but please know your limits going forward. I was trying to pull you away back on the roof. Whether it's about drinking or nudity or anything else. If you were uncomfortable, I would have wanted you to tell me earlier. I wouldn't have been mad or anything. Because by that point, I had already paid $26 and I didn't want to ruin you guys' night. It's my fault. That's why I said I want to stay inside after you ordered the Uber. I didn't want to be a burden. You had just thrown up and were slurring your speech, so we couldn't leave you. But we went back inside and it was fine. It's fine. When I saw him next, it seemed that he was feeling ill. Because of this, Casey, Benny, and I sat down with him inside to see how he was doing. He was repeatedly touchy with Benny, which was not reciprocated, and asked to kiss him before being turned down. We decided to call him an Uber back to the Airbnb, after which he protested and said that he, quote, wants to stay here with this one, gesturing at Benny. What is it? Also, what time are you guys planning on going tomorrow? I kind of want to be back early. I was going to ask you if you wanted to hang out with me before the con. Like just us. If not, that's fine. I could get us an Uber. I didn't know it was a sex club, so seeing people fuck in front of me fucking triggered me. What the fuck? People were literally mostly naked in line and were having sex the second you walked in the door. You choosing to stay isn't my problem any more than your drinking was. I'm tired of my personal shit being aired out as attempts at slander by somebody who I know is eager for and profiting off this publicly. Nothing is sacred. I really don't care if he tweets more victim-blamey suicide bait or leaves the fandom again. My only regret in this is ever being sympathetic enough to imply that I liked being around him. Leave me and everyone involved alone. I never wanted any of this to be public, and I never needed any validation. I'd like to add a reminder that consent is never a blanket statement, especially when it comes to a loose sometime, leading to physically uncomfortable situations. It can be revoked at any time, and most importantly, the absence of a yes is an empathetic no. Okay, so that's that. Furry sex club hysteria. All right. Now we have Wolfgang suicide baiting. Let's see it.
They should have told that motherfucker to get lost.
True, but there's nuance to all this.
Why Shinji there? What the hell?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, sex club.
All right.
So they all like degenerates.
Hold on, I gotta fix my audio.
Probably. I think this is a separate situation, though, but we didn't get context.
Yeah, go on.
What's good?
Ooh, what's with the call? Because we don't usually do this.
I don't know. I'm just in a good mood.
Yeah, I know. You're in the mood to kill yourself.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that sounds so down.
Bang a fucking line.
Let's turn this up.
Push him into that.
It's kind of devastating, honestly.
Well,
All right, who are the two people talking in this?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do, but, like, what's with the garden hose?
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, this is the. Oh, okay. This is what Benny was referring to in the doc. He's gonna strap up a hose to a carbon monoxide tank and kill himself. Okay.
Exhaust him and put the other side through the window.
When are you gonna do this? Like, on call or
I don't
something?
know, when I get bored. I mean, I just reached out to who I thought were my friends of, the past few months, and found out not only were they not my friends, but they actively hated talking to me. So, I don't know. It can't really get much worse. I can't really get many more reasons to go. Like, And then they said that, actually, they talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people hate me. So, yeah, really can't get many more reasons.
This guy's a narcissist.
The stupid plastic on this thing won't come off. I mean, I don't know. I feel like telling someone who you just found out was going to kill themselves to, fuck off is a little crazy. But hey, I guess that's just me. What do I know?
Oh.
Still wondering if I should do carbon monoxide or if I should come up with, MacGyver type trap.
Yeah, the person talking about killing themselves is internet adjacent, aka Wolfgang.
I want it to be infamous.
Did he just say I want to be infamous? There's no way.
Trap. Because I want it to be people know that it happened. I want it to be infamous. You know what I'm saying? I want people. I want media to cover that.
You know what you actually desperately fucking need?
I want media to come to that?
Be put in a padded fucking room. Because,
that's not
you don't need to kill yourself, dude, because of boo-hoo, my wife is terrible, I better go kill myself. Dude, I've been in that situation.
Why is he so much louder than everybody else?
I've been in that situation but many times before. Trust me.
What do I have? What do I have?
I don't know, a life?
Dreams? Aspirations?
Yeah, dude, dude,
friends
you could...
around me? What do hell, how do I know anyone's my friend? I thought those guys were my friends for months, and they've been lying to me. Oh, I have a good job? No, I work at Domino's, and I fucking
Can you pause it real quick, Ableton?
Why?
Do you know what this is?
No.
You know those scenarios with the line cooks at work on Snapchat that send people snaps thinking that they're friends and they just keep snapping them every single day and you never open them?
Yeah.
That's what this scenario is. I guarantee you this guy's just been around public calls and stuff like that. And because he's been in calls with other people, he definitely thinks that they're friends.
Probably.
Which is why he self-invited himself to the con and everything like that. And thought that girl was super into it when she obviously wasn't.
It was a guy.
Oh, guy. My bad.
This is a gay drama.
Nope, not doing well either.
Oh my goodness, this is even better.
What do I have?
Like, dude.
Oh my
like,
god, he's so loud. Okay. I'm just gonna keep on MCing this. Okay, Joker laugh. Joker laugh number 1. Alright.
Dude, just kill yourself, dog.
Okay!
That's super loud.
You know, like every day I want to fucking kill myself, but I don't do it because I have people that give a shit, you know?
Okay.
Like, yes,
What the
I've had
fuck?
people who absolutely hate my fucking guts, but, like, that's their fucking problem, not mine.
This is a weird flex. What the fuck?
These people found out I was going to kill myself and then essentially told me to do it, you know?
They told you to do it?
Am I crazy? And then that's another thing. They're like, that's what I got from that.
Dude,
Are they trying to morally up each other?
I'm gonna be real as fuck.
Sounds like
people
it.
ain't your fucking therapist.
I wanna
Okay,
kill myself
base,
more, bro.
true,
That's not what I
true.
was going to them for. I'm letting people know about this so that they
You
don't feel
need-
responsible.
Deadass, you need to seek help. Like, if it's getting to
True.
this point where you're actually trying to kill yourself, you need to seek help. You need to be...
Well, it's not a try.
True.
I don't try. I succeed, and that's it.
I succeed and that's it, bro. What the
You cannot
fuck?
handle your life like this,
That's
man.
narcissistic.
You cannot
Fuck.
do
Well,
things like
I'm
this.
Not gonna
It's-
be handling it much
it's-
longer.
It's Dude, what you're doing right now is extremely irrational as fuck. Like,
Eh,
are
I've
you...
never been irrational.
I've never been irrational, bro.
How is he self-aware?
Like, seriously, bro. Like, you gotta fucking, like, realize that this is extremely irrational.
Well, here's why it's funny. Because you bring up therapists. What do you think I was going to try to do today? I was going to try to call therapists. Like, you know, maybe. I have the text messages. I can show them if I really want
Dude, like...
to. And then this happened. And it's like, well, how do I know that anyone... I don't know.
Sometimes you gotta take this journey by yourself, you know?
True.
I can't do that.
No, you can.
And besides,
don't wanna
You
do
can,
that.
you just
there's
keep
so
doubting
many
yourself.
people well, it's not a doubt. It's just a acceptance. But, like, there's so many people who, like, hate my guts and just need to, like...
And you're just...
We don't know who the loud person is, Benzin, but the quiet person who's on the phone is internet adjacent, who is what this entire Parlo doc is about.
And so you're just gonna kill yourself to let them win? Like, seriously?
No, not let them win. I'm gonna do that to fuck over their lives forever.
Do
want them to
you realize
do
that's not gonna do anything? You realize that they're not gonna give a
I mean,
shit?
they will.
They're gonna
They
be like,
will,
oh my
actually.
god, the guy that I despised killed himself. Anyways, like,
Well, when I
they don't
blast
give
it
a
all
shit,
over,
dude. If your enemy...
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. If I do something crazy, and it like people fight, like make like a huge MacGyver trap.
Okay, also, internet adjacent wants me to watch his video in response to the Anthrocon situation after this before we read the rest of the Parlo doc, so I will be doing that. So, I guess so he can, in advance, dispute some of those allegations, so we'll see that.
Do it, you know? And it's like some crazy thing. They get media coverage, and then they go, well, why did this happen? And they look at it. And, you know, of course, I'm going to make it a public spectacle. I'm not going to do this in the...
You are making it a public spectacle, bro. What the fuck? You literally just said you wanted the media on it. You want to be infamous.
Infamous.
Post the note on Twitter with everyone's ad. I want all these motherfuckers to go... Generational debt is what I want from these people.
Generational debt, bro. What the fuck?
Because he wasn't invited to something?
Like a fraction of what they just put...
No, I think that this is because he was hearing that he, like, potentially got accused of sexual assault.
And they found him weird.
Yeah, essentially.
So now he's like,
I'm gonna kill myself.
this is some... Dude, what is happening in the gay furry community right now?
I mean, this was last year. This all happened last year.
That's insane. That's crazy, T.
Even if they don't get, like, sued into oblivion, even if they don't face any criminal charges...
Why would they face
nothing
criminal
else
charges?
happens, if they are publicly and socially raped, I'm fine with that.
What?
Publicly and oh my god, publicly and socially raped. What do you mean by that?
If their reputations
We said the same
and
reaction.
everything about that is fucked to oblivion, if they're known as the people who pushed someone to kill themselves, you know what? I think I can die happy.
He has such a small view on the
good one
world.
for me.
That is
Horrifying.
That's extremely fucked up, dude.
I mean, yeah.
Like, no, nah, you need help. You actually need to get yourself admitted to a fucking ward right now. You need to do that.
What would that do?
You know what would that do? It would prevent you from killing yourself and actually get you some goddamn help.
No.
Oh, so you're not gonna, you don't want help.
Today,
Oh, so the fucking whole thing, this whole thing's just to get revenge.
If it's 10 years from now.
So this whole fucking thing, so this whole fucking thing is just to get back at people who don't give a shit.
Okay. To remind you what this is all about, since people keep on asking, listen. Internet Adjacent and Parlo are having issues, okay? Parlo is essentially accusing him of sexual predation, zoophilia, sexual coercion, unwanted sexual contact, suicidal ideation, suicide baiting, emotional manipulation, image leaking and privacy invasion, and sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, so that is the accusations against Internet Adjacent. The first doc that we read, which was my relationship with Parlo, responds to this in advance and tries to dispute all of these claims. Now we are reading Parlo's doc, and we are currently going through accusations that Internet Adjacent had last year about Anthrocon, where he was essentially accused of, I don't know if I would, maybe we can go as far as sexual assault, but at the very least, like unwanted sexual advances and like being very pushy and like weird and, like grabbing and stuff like that and not wanting consent. And his direct response to this was that you could have said no. There you go. TLDR. There you go. All right. And now we're listening to him suicide bait because he found out that these allegations were going to potentially come public. This happened last year. There you go.
Oh, well, they'll give a shit soon.
Oh, they'll give a shit soon. Oh, my God, you're delusional.
It's going to be hilarious. Well, that's why I
It
gotta
sounds
make
like a
it
woman when you give him a logical
spectacle.
response to an answer.
So you're going to post it publicly. You're going to be like, hey, guys, you're going...
No, I'm gonna
You realize you might actually turn yourself into a laughingstock. Instead of...
I don't know.
I died a hero or some shit.
Why does it matter to me?
Why call me out of all people? Because I don't know how to help you with this.
I don't know.
Especially when you...
Well, you're the only one who seems to actually care. You know?
Dude, I'm trying to give you advice. I'm trying to help you, but you don't want it. So I don't know what to fucking do here, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're the one who cares, though.
Guess I'll just kill myself.
She
Like what?
She didn't fucking care.
She could.
I tried talking
She's
to
dealing with her
Ed,
own
he
shit,
didn't
dude. She's...
I tried talking to Cyrus. You see how that went.
Cyrus!
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Definitely a different Cyrus, right?
I cannot wait for his career to be fucked.
Okay, it sounds like they're talking about the same Cyrus. I don't know.
What are the odds, bro?
That would be crazy.
Wait, he was canceled last year, though, wasn't
That would
he?
be so
No.
great.
No, he died last year.
That's really fucked up, dude.
Well,
Holy fuck.
Like,
I think
all because...
half of what-
So, like, from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing is that they cut you off because, like...
No. You're thinking about it too close-minded. This isn't just about them.
What you're
This is
fucking
about
doing is going to be close-minded as shit. Like,
Well,
you're
it's gonna
not...
lose my mind.
You're, like, killing yourself to get back at people, which is the most downright pointless thing ever.
True.
Oh,
It is actually really fucking pointless, dude.
It's the most hater energy thing I could do.
It's the most hater
That's
energy
kinda
shit I can do.
based.
That's kind of based.
I'm losing a war. I guess I'll
wanna
kill
be-
myself.
I want to die with people knowing I hater energy.
Why did
see.
he say
See, and you're thinking if I do it, nothing will happen. even if these people don't lose their like social reputations, think about it like this: they would have every reason to be sued.
To be sued? What is that? What are you talking
Every reason to
about?
be sued.
Who's gonna sue
By
them?
who?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna be
that's a good
alive.
question.
My family.
Your families, they would not sue on your estate.
What?
And I mean, I'm not a big fan of them either. But hey, you know, if they sue these guys, all will be forgiven.
All will be forgiven. What?
How are you gonna
That'd be
forgive them if you're
awesome.
dead?
Because think about it like this:
For the afterlife.
you would need like, I mean, I can guarantee this would work. You can sue for like emotional damage. You know, what's
What?
more emotional than a death?
Oh my god.
Especially if I expressly implicate all of these people.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't even want the money.
By the way,
Honestly,
this
I told
call
them
would
to
just
burn
completely
it.
nullify the entire
Burn all that
case.
money or donate it. I don't
True.
give a fuck.
That
I'll
is
be
true.
dead anyway.
He's gonna be doing it in spite.
So, like, you're just doing this.
To fuck with people? Kinda.
What?
I guess you could say I'm a day one op.
I'm at a loss for words.
I am too.
Ain't no way he just said that in his
That's
suicide.
Dead ass. Like,
Crazy. That's crazy.
like
I mean, is it
months
that
ago,
hard to
you would
understand?
crucify people for this kind of level of shit, but now here you are doing this.
What do you mean crucify what? What level of shit?
Like, you would crucify people for being this fucked up. You've done it before.
I wouldn't crucify people for being fucked up like this. I'd crucify them for being pedophiles or something. I would crucify them if they were suicide baiting. This isn't a joke.
Well,
I'm
did you?
100%
Did you
serious.
kill yourself, buddy? Did you try?
I mean, I bought a
Because-
knife and a garden hose today. You don't think I'm serious about this? Let's see the knife too. It's actually
His
pretty cool.
mom probably needed it, to be honest.
It's green.
It's green. Okay.
I don't know how to help you, man. Like,
I mean, there is no help.
I'm
That's the
uncomfortable.
Me too.
Oh.
Me too, buddy.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm
Why
sorry.
did he call if there's no help?
Okay, so that's the end of that call. Let's go ahead and get into this real quick. We'll put it at 1.5, but we'll make sure that we pay attention. Sorry if the audio sounds weird at times. This video has been recorded multiple times. All right, let's get into it.
Oh my god, it has been a while. Since
You're
I've
doing
been able to
gameplay
play.
over
There's
this?
been a lot of stuff going
Over
on, and I've had
sexual
a lot
assault
of,
allegations?
kind of deplorable people paint me as a villain. If you
What?
realize you uninformed AntherCon happened 2 months
What's
ago.
going on? What's going on, guys? Okay. All right. Let's fucking do it.
Which I was there. And after AntherCon,
Okay, this is way too quiet. Hold on. There you go.
stuff, almost all of which is extreme exaggeration and just genuinely dishonest points, or just stuff that is almost completely irrelevant to the actual serious allegations against me. And I've been genuinely slandered, and I know it's taken me a long time to respond since I've just been in a mental crisis, and it probably wouldn't have been a good idea to respond yet. If you look at the allegations, there's genuinely nothing behind them. So I'm going to start out by showing you how dishonest and scummy these people are by their own accord, and I'm going to show you how little there is to these allegations, and how manipulative these people really are. After
QQ, this is fucking internet adjacent responding to the Anthrocon allegations. And he wanted us to watch it before we read the rest of the Parlo doc. Okay? There.
that, I'm going to go point by point and just explain, what actually happened.
I don't
First
like
part
that
is
he's
going to be an
playing
interview,
zombies.
which consisted of 3 of the people most involved in heavily defending Benny's false accusations, Jam, Ada, and Jam's boyfriend Honk, who originally wasn't going to be in the call but requested to be added.
I didn't add you to this GC for a reason. Ata and Jam did. I asked to be here so I can have a perspective on all of this, because I didn't want you in this further, and I think that you're all wrong.
Keep that in mind as well. It also had me, of course, yours truly, as well as fellow commentary YouTuber Labrat, my editor Jerry, and drama person on Twitter, Pobs. Now, while Lab and Jerry sided with me, Pobs was leaning more neutral at the time of this call. When I messaged Pobs about saying they were neutral in the call but weren't afterwards and leaned towards my side, Pobs directly said, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Now, the full call will be linked in the description, as it was uploaded to Pobs' channel, but to give you an example of what happened in this call, at 4:30 into the video, my editor asked me how many people told me it was an SA.
You defending this guy as if you were lied to. Yeah, well, how many separate opinions have you gotten that agreed with you?
Yeah, but they're all furry.
To which Otto responded,
and how many of them were kind of in the Airbnb with you?
then at 5:11, I asked Otto, what I was going to say was, were you in the Airbnb when it happened?
Was someone in the call who was? Hi, Jake.
Jake, of course, being Jam. And then not 30 seconds later, I asked Jam if he was there, and he says he doesn't actually know, but he was told by Benny he was and just went along with it. Jam, you said the first...
I know, that's why we're all here. That's kind of why I'm...
Let me speak.
Okay, so far you're not even disputing the nature that it happened. You're disputing who was there. Okay.
Jam, did you or did you not say in the first poll you don't actually know if you were there? You were just told Benny, like, said you were.
I was told by Benny that they were looking over me because they were very uncomfortable with what's going on.
Were you there or not?
I don't know if I don't know. I will say...
At 13:30, downplaying what sexual assault is to make it fit what I did.
Okay. It's not... Okay, if somebody's uncomfortable, you're taking the term sexual assault and turning it into, like saying that it's rape or something. This is something that I was speaking to about, with... I'm not going to disclose the name, but I was talking to them about this, and they were comparing sexual assault to rape. And I think that that's an insane claim. I think that sexual assault is something that sounds very jarring, but in reality, it isn't as bad as, like, the name really sets it to be. I don't think sexual assault is like... No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't think that sexual
allegedly
assault...
has the AIDS, cats.
I don't... Because you're making it out to be as if...
At 21 minutes, they admit that Benny's initial claim was rape, even though the four of them this whole time have said none of them claimed it was rape.
Why are there so many people here?
Oh yeah, because we are defending a fucking friend who was called a rapist.
Yeah, we're defending a friend who
has been
said
threatened
raped.
with violence.
Yeah.
Has been...
At 32 minutes, they sent a screenshot of why Benny didn't go to the police, citing that I had already lost friends and followers and that they wouldn't get anything from it. Oh, Jerry, I want to know what happened. Why aren't they pursuing you legally?
Because they don't need to.
Oh, wait, no, I have a
What do you
screenshot
mean
of
they don't need
Benny.
to?
I actually have a screenshot of Benny's exact words here.
If they don't want to, they don't need to.
Here's
let's read it. Let's read it. But I don't think I would go with Ethan pursuing it. He's fucked up enough to lose friends and followers. I just don't want to... wait, hold on. He's fucked up enough to lose friends and followers, and I just want to not think about that anymore. Why was friends and followers brought into this?
At 49:50, they said they had proof. I was told it was a sex club, which was never provided. Then said they told me it was a bathhouse, so I should have just assumed so. For the second day, that was when I was brought to the sex club without being told. By the way,
Okay, well, first of all, we did tell you.
This is him disputing whether it was a sex club. Now, notice we're almost 5 minutes in. I haven't heard once him try to dispute the fact that he actually did anything. So I'm kind of confused why this exists.
First of all, and there is video, and there is proof of you acknowledging that. You acknowledge...
Can we see that proof, please?
Yeah, I love that proof.
Oh, one of us have it.
Because I also have...
They're all arguing and defending us.
Saying, oh, they told me it was a nudity club, not a...
Why didn't you tell me it was a sex club? They're saying they both told you, but to be fair, I thought it was like dicks out type of club, not dicks in ass type club. I was never told this. I even asked. Y'all said the roof and the dance floor was good. We even joked about it in line. Remember, we talked about the businessmen looking at the roof. Yes, and they said only the lower levels are for being naked, but they ended up having an awning over the roof. Yeah, I thought the roof was good. I didn't realize the whole place was a sex club. I was told only floors 2 and 3 were. So he admits that he knew part of it was a sex club. So that's not great. Honestly, I don't even think they were supposed to be having sex on the roof or in the lobby, but they were, and no staff stopped it. Like, I don't care about nudity, but I wasn't told that it was that type of place. That's why I drank the alcohol so fast.
Big difference.
We said it was a furry bathhouse. Yes, is it a sex thing? We said it's a furry bathhouse. Of course, it's a sex thing.
Keep in mind that these DMs are mere hours after the sex club thing, as well as providing a vastly different story to the one they tried to claim. Yes, and they said only lower. Okay, so already went through that.
Yeah, what said?
Let me speak. Here's what happened. We left the con to go to the Airbnb. We watched 2 episodes of South Park, and I played a level of Hotline Miami. I can name the exact fucking episodes and level in Hotline Miami. They told me there was a bath floor, and there was a floor for sex, for beds. Okay? And then when we get to the con, we tell you guys where we're going, and then we go there.
And then it's fucking bears pounding twinks.
So let me explain this real quick. Okay. That literally proves nothing. That doesn't prove at all.
Yeah, that does not prove anything.
I'm just trying to establish.
Well, your logic, you could have left the bathhouse.
I'm saying right now, if that's proof of me knowing it's like a sex club, that is the weakest shit.
No, that just adds more context. I'm still okay.
All right, I'm just saying. Okay.
And then,
the balancing is horrible.
At an hour 35, Otta asked for proof on a point that was in Benny's thread. They talked about a club with free alcohol, and I said, "Can I come?" And Benny went, "Sure." That's not an invite. That's not me inviting myself and be like, "I'm coming with." That was me asking if I could go with. Benny had all the power to say I couldn't go to the club with them, and they actively didn't.
Is there proof of that? By the way.
There is. Yes, that's what Benny admitted on the last.
That is Benny's statement, Otta. At an hour 7 and 38, Otta and Co admitted to planning to drop me, but still acting friendly in DMs.
Was from Wolfgang. With this entire situation, we were just playing.
By the way, I know it sounds like a mute point, but they both moot point is what he meant. But I brought this up because Otta's whole logic behind how they could have never manipulated me is because they cared so much about me despite planning on dropping me. Otta saying, if I'm going to be honest, it does make me sad that you think I would manipulate you into thinking you're wrong. I drove all the way to Anthrocon just for you and Jake, and I don't hate you, nor do I think you're a bad person, but I would like to understand what exactly about this you're unsure of, and what parts of it you think you were being manipulated into believing. Because I can tell you that the people you talk to do not have the full context no matter how much you told them, because they were not there. Like I said, I know that it feels good to get agreed with, but it also gets to a point where you have to face facts.
And dropping Wolfgang. He's not entitled to a friendship, and he's not entitled to hear about the events that Benny had. Because at the end of the day, Benny was keeping it all private. The only group I knew was just this little group.
At an hour 13, 44
True,
seconds,
Katza. That is true. Even I know that.
And all that harassment that Wolfgang was getting was, I will say, in my opinion, was because of his own. Was basically.
Here's another clip where, despite saying all the harassment I got was my own fault, Otta then says that they spread the allegations to people they hung out with once at Anthrocon.
Basically, and let me talk, okay? Everything was in Camp Jam. Nothing made it outside of that. Lab brought up that screenshot with Tosh. We hung out with Tosh like once at Anthrocon, so he was involved. And Benny is.
No.
Okay, no, let me keep speaking. I would appreciate.
Someone we spent, me and Benny personally spent.
Here's another clip of Lab explaining how they have no way to clarify these false allegations were being spread around, even using a recent example. Also, add on to this all started with Benny vague tweeting about me, and then if people asked who they were talking about, they would DM them about it. So.
Was it night one whenever
Tosh was somehow involved in this?
I will also add.
I don't think Tosh has anything to do with this besides just
yes,
that one.
Lab, I do want to hear about this.
Because I have gay friends, Tyrone.
The fandom works in general. With someone being told in DMs, I know for a fact that that was shared. It's like a disease. It has an R0, which is the rate of reproduction.
Oh, a disease.
Yeah, I didn't even think y'all knew about that Vexium shit. I thought that shit was private, and I come in here.
Yeah, no,
that's what I mean.
That's the thing. It gets around. No matter what, who you tell them don't tell anyone. Everyone just goes here, don't tell anyone, and tells the information. That person goes to the next person, and it spreads like whispers.
Yeah, and I guess really all we can say in response to that is that we really weren't trying to do anything with that. We can get vouchers from literally everybody.
I even have a tweet of it.
At an hour 16:19, Otta admits to micromanaging me.
So kind of trying to tell Wolfgang what to do.
And
so, like, when Benny was receiving harassment, right? You told Wolfgang, hey, you should take this down, you should do this, the other thing, and that's fine, right? But none of that was done to Benny, right? It wasn't at Benny's request. It wasn't because Benny said anything.
Hold on. Fuck me.
But none of that was done to Benny.
Ott says to, now I can't ask, that can't be done for me. I do not know, you can't answer that for you, or I can't answer that for you, but you're implying to me that because you think Benny's thread should be down and you are getting harassed because of it, that you as a big creator will not hold back your audience other than just to say don't. I'm not Benny.
Right? It wasn't at Benny's request. It wasn't because Benny said anything. It was you making the decision to tell Wolfgang how to manage the situation, right?
Well, I guess with the thread, I will agree with you on the micromanaging, because I guess my mentality with it is, if Wolfgang said one thing wrong, this shit is gonna be stretched out another week by people on Twitter, and it is the last thing I want.
Instead of this lasting a week, 3 months later, I still have people calling me a rapist because I rubbed someone's knee when they said they wanted to have sex with me. Gonna be posting 2 very big threads soon. One of them is about why I'm leaving, as well as some other personal things. You literally raped my best friend. Jesus.
It's the last thing I want. It's the last thing Wolfgang wants. It's stupid.
At an hour 46:30, Jam says he's going to really
yes, this is the final side quest. Don't worry.
I will 100% support it. I will retweet it if you need me to. Again, I will support it as long as everything is accurate. I'm planning to get Benny to take down the thread.
And that's why we just wanted this to be over with. I'm gonna try and get Benny to really take down that thread.
Over with until like the truth is out there. That's what the point is.
Make your tweet, defend yourself, all that. I will 100% support it. I will retweet it if you need me to. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I will support it as long as this is accurate.
I'm down for
I'm
work.
trying to get Benny to take down the thread because I think that's what we all want.
At 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 7 seconds, they agree to having gaslit and manipulated me, but claims it was accidental.
Stress Benny out to become suicide, right? I'm saying from behind the scenes.
Okay, wow, holy yeah. To clarify on this point, the reason I took down all my posts originally and never defended myself is because they told me this put Benny in a suicidal place, and that Benny's family had gotten involved. After I deleted my post, Benny posted a thread calling me a sexual assaulter for touching their knee after Benny said that they wanted to fuck me. Then after they found out I became actually suicidal, they said I was just baiting. I want it to be pointed out that Benny was not suicidal on my initial post, and that it was just a lie, so I would shut up. I mean, you know, I'll let the audience decide whether that call was baiting or not.
Yeah. That and here's another thing. I reiterated what Otta said. The thing about the gaslighting is crazy. I reiterated what Otta said, and I will take accountability for what I said because I shouldn't have reiterated what she said. But that is my fault. But it was mostly coming out of a place of anger, and I do admit that is wrong. And I take.
It's just that was like the first thing, guns ablazing, like the first sentence to try to like get the.
Y'all totally like as far as that situation, like, y'all were totally gaslighting with that statement, factually, because the difference is y'all were speculating what might happen to Benny, right? Y'all were speculating.
Not intentionally, but I do agree. Yes.
And my favorite one, at an hour, 16 and 41 seconds.
Yep,
Otta admits
you're right,
she wanted
Ace.
to control
Thank you for the
exactly what I
5.
said.
So yeah, I will say I do apologize for being micromanaging. It's more or less not that I wanted to control what he said.
You know, if Otta and Honk admitting to controlling what I said and manipulating, gaslighting me to say what they want while their friend accused me of rape. Where is the debunking of the actual accusation?
And just just not wanting to stretch this
Where?
out any longer than it wanted to be. So I
Where
guess I kind
is
of
it?
imposed a lot of my own views on him. As much as I don't agree with a lot of the stuff, I did impose just to try to get this situation over, just so none of us would have to hear about it.
Like I said, these are just a few of the points of note from that 2.5-hour long call. If you would like to watch it in full, you can find the link to it in the description, and I highly encourage you to watch the full thing.
I'm
Getting into
okay.
the actual allegations, where this all started was on the first day. Benny was on his phone, and I saw him.
Actual accusations? Why is this the first part of the video, dude? Holy fuck! Holy wasting my time! Holy yap!
Getting into the actual allegations, where this all started was on the first day. Benny was on his phone and I saw he was on Bark. I asked why he was on there, to which Benny said they were looking to hook up. I suggested me and Benny could hook up, and Benny said they would be down. Now, in response, I rubbed their knee. Benny's not claiming that's sexual assault. Now, the only way that could be possible is if Benny expressed they were uncomfortable or told me to stop or anything. Yet, Benny did absolutely nothing, and, as later shown, only tried to get closer to me the following days of HitlerCon. Now, another reason Benny likes to claim this is sexual assault is because another person, Jam, claims they were at the Airbnb and was sitting on the couch when this happened. But like everything else, this is debunked. And even giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Debunked?
Like, despite knowing this
Is
isn't
it?
true at all, Jam wasn't there. How does that make it sexual assault? Nothing about this situation is sexual assault, and to claim it is just disingenuous to actual victims of sexual assault.
Now, I don't think I need to explain to you that touching someone's knee after they said they wanted to have sex with you isn't sexual assault at all, and yeah, to even try to claim it is stupid. It's also very proven in the DMs that Benny did want to hook up, but that the only reason we couldn't was because Jam was...
Heart, I don't know if we'd be able to tonight with Jam coming back. Yeah, it's alright, we got 2 more days.
coming back tonight, but that's for some reason left out of everyone's...
We could shower together. They would definitely know though. I feel like we gotta wait for the right moment. Ah, okay, no rush. Furry hugs. Hope I'm not being too touchy.
Telling of the events? There are people literally right now who think me touching someone's knee after they said they wanted to have sex with me is sexual assault. Some people even call it rape. What? Like, I can't explain to you why this is wrong. I shouldn't have to. You should... This... And it's...
So he's talking about one incident of, like, touching of the knee. The Benny person disputes this and says that there's multiple instances in which this person was too touchy. Okay, just to be clear.
It sucks that I'm in a community where I have to explain that's not what it is at all. That's not what sexual assault is. Now, day 2 of the con, I spent all day hanging out with Benny, who apparently the day before thought I sexually assaulted them. And, you know, despite thinking I did something absolutely abhorrent to them the day before, they were now totally fine with us hanging out, taking photos together. And even in some of the photos, you can see me carrying Benny's backpack because it was too heavy for them. A little while later, Benny introduced me to their friends.
Why do the worst people gotta like Hotline Miami, dude? Hotline Miami is such a based game. Why all the cringe people like Hotline Miami, dude? It's fucked.
Casey and Tyler, and while we sat down eating ramen noodles, they discussed going to a gay club that people underage could get alcohol pretty easily at. I was told by Benny I could tag along.
Now, Benny claimed in their thread that I was forcing my way into these events, but when Crystal tries to get in, she's shut down immediately, and yet...
This is backed up in the Yap session video, as well as Jam backs it up that I was allowed to go, but Crystal wasn't, despite Benny saying I sexually assaulted them.
For some reason, when I ask to join, they don't have the ability to tell me no. Now, on the way back from the convention, I put my hand next to Benny's and asked him if he wanted to hold hands, to which he pulled his hand back and texted me saying he wasn't good with physical affection, but was good for casual hookup, which is proven in the text, and is vastly different than the story Benny made. They claimed I grabbed their hand and they had to fight me off.
Fuck. Hold on. If I just had to fight someone off, I wouldn't let them come with me to a club later that day or a rave the very next day, but hey, maybe that's just me. I'm good for casual hookups, but kinda in a weird place when it comes to affection. Oh, my bad, sorry.
Now, once we were back at the Airbnb, we chilled for a bit. I played Hotline Miami and watched some South Park as Casey and Benny did each other's makeup. Now, I asked the two of them about the club, and was told it was a bar/bathhouse. Then, when asking further, I was told it had a second floor with bedrooms for sex, and a bathhouse on the 3rd floor. I was told there was nudity on those 2 floors, but when asking about anything else, I was told the rest of the club would be fine. It's important to keep that in your heads. We then went back to the con, met up with Otto, Jam, and Crystal, and told them we were going to a gay club. Me, Benny, and Casey then got in line for the club. After a while of waiting, Casey's boyfriend Tyler came out and stayed with us. Then one of the employees came over, and we checked in digitally, telling us to come back when we were first in queues. Casey and Tyler went off, while Benny and I went out to get dinner together. Yeah, that's right. This guy took me to dinner and paid for it. Oh, what? Call me crazy. If someone sexually assaulted you, you're not taking them to dinner, let alone paying for it. Now, after our queue was up and went to the club, on the way in I noticed a few sus-ass stickers, but, you know, I brushed it off because it's a fucking gay club, I don't know. Then as I looked into the door, I saw a bunch of people in pup masks and jockstraps. Once again, I mean, it's a gay club. It's probably normal.
Is it?
I got inside and I immediately saw people walking around naked and a big orgy pile. Now, I went to the roof assuming nothing would be happening up there because why would there be? I mean, we literally joked that people are going to probably be fully clothed up on the roof because, like, a businessman could look through a telescope and see them. That's in the messages multiple times. When I went to the roof, I found a guy getting fucked doggy style on the DJ table. I asked Benny if they would like to go somewhere, and they said not right now.
Okay.
Then Tyler, Casey's boyfriend, gave me a can of Twisted Tea, and I got really drunk really fast, stumbling around and laughing at people in the club. I eventually threw up, and the 3 of them brought me to a couch so I could sit down while they get me an Uber. Now, while sitting on the couch, I asked Benny to sit next to me. I put my arm around them, and they leaned into my chest. I asked them if we could make out, and they said, no, you just threw up. And I said, oh, okay. When the Uber arrived, I went to go in, and Benny said, don't tell Otter or Jam about any of this. I got back to the Airbnb and threw up some more while Benny stayed the night with Casey and Tyler. That was essentially the end of the second day. Now some keynotes. First thing is Benny invited me to all this stuff and hung out with me instead of Jam or Ada, despite the day before thinking I sexually assaulted them, which is a little sus among us. The other thing is Benny brought me to a sex club without telling me it was a sex club. Now Ada and Jam say they told me while I was at Anthrocon because I asked if it was a sex club, but their story is just wildly inconsistent. First telling me it was a sex club, and then it was a bathhouse.
This guy's responding to like sexual assault allegations and says sus among us.
I asked if it's a sex club at the con, and that's not even mentioning the only actual proof that like exists at all is a DM I sent Benny saying, "Why didn't you tell me it was a sex club?" And they say, "We told you it was a nudity club."
Saw that.
Sex, not sex, nudity. Also, last thing to note here, in Benny's terrible, god-awful, stupid, idiot thread, they tried to use me asking them to make out as like a legit cancellation point. I don't know what universe you live in where if a drunk person asks you to make out and you say no and they respect it, I don't know where that's even close to being cancelable. You said no, and I went, okay, I won't. What is bad about that? What, that I respected it? That I didn't make out with you? Is understanding consent now cancelable? Now,
What?
day 3, we woke up and went to the con. On our way to the con, as we were riding in Otto's car, Benny and Jam talked about a rave and said I could go with. But Crystal asked to tag along, and Benny told them fuck no. Once again, Benny saying I can go and hang out with them, only this time they expressly told me yes, and told Crystal no. Now at Anthrocon, I hung with just Otto and Jam, Crystal went to the game room, and Benny went off to do their own thing. The 3 of us went to the dealer's den and checked stuff out, and Otto even bought a new fursuit. Later that night, when we went to the rave, we initially went to a room party, but that sucked ass, so we left. We were in the hotel room with one of Benny's friends named Timber, trying to find where the actual rave was, and dressing ourselves up in glow sticks. As we were sitting there, someone gave me the idea to do a Fursona tier list, and I said, maybe for the second channel. And to which Jam responded, yeah, maybe then I'll give a shit about your content. Nah, I mean, I was already dealing with a lot, and after hearing someone I thought was my friend say some shit like that to me, I kind of just broke. Before...
What? Why did you include this? Who cares? They said your content's bad and you started, like, crying? Who cares? Shut up! Shut up!
My flight home, I posted the Google Doc. You know, it was the I really need a break one, but it had some more stuff added on. When I originally posted it,
Getting heated.
And I assumed he'd read it. And I found out recently he didn't. He told me he didn't care. After Anthrocon, Jam, Benny, and everyone around them started acting weird towards me, like distant, less talkative. Then one day I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a tweet from Benny saying some really bad shit. I originally thought it was about Crystal until I tried talking to Jam. Then he told me to talk to Benny. When I tried talking to Benny, that was when I learned everything. They were going around saying I sexually assaulted them and that they told me no to sex multiple times, and I kept pushing them. Benny was trying to paint me as a rapist. Now, we've already gone over touching someone's knee as not sexual assault, but now they're saying that no equals later, which no, it doesn't. They're two wildly different things. Even though it was a vague tweet, people were asking Benny who they were talking about, to which Benny would tell them in DMs. Now, I tried to settle this in DMs, but Benny blocked me, so they're going around calling me a rapist and publicly vague tweeting about me, and then telling anyone who asks who they're vague tweeting about. Now, I, of course, went public about my experience with Crystal, as well as Benny calling me a rapist and the sex club thing, to which Otto messages me and tells me I'm acting childish. Then me, Otto, Jam's boyfriend Honk, and Jam...
I mean, they never called you a rapist. They, like, said multiple times they're not calling you a rapist. So, I mean, it is kind of affirming to what Benny said that, like, you're trying to, like, giga it up to rape when it, like, that was never the accusation, right?
I'll get in a call. It was unproductive and really didn't do much, and was more or less just a 3 of them trying to convince me I'm wrong and that touching someone's knee is sexual assault. I believe Honk even said verbatim they consented to sex, not you touching their knee.
What?
Someone's knee is sexual assault. I believe Honk even said verbatim they consented to...
But me putting my hand on their thigh is a red flag. Yes, because you consented to fucking. They never said yes or no to you touching their leg. Okay.
Right. Sex,
I
not you touching
don't
their
get
knee,
this.
which is a wild sentence. But towards the end of the call, Honk convinced me to take down my thread, saying this could lead to Benny hurting himself, and then no one's happy. And this got Benny's family involved. Me, of course, not being the biggest piece of shit, took down my thread. To which Benny posted their thread full on blast, calling me a sexual assaulter. That's right. We have used someone potentially being suicidal as a way for me to delete my defense, which is kind of a dick move. We then had another call a day or two later. In that call, Otto, Benny, and Honk constantly had me muted and wouldn't let me speak, even letting Benny cut me off and allowing them to drone on for a long ass time. As established, I was having mental problems, and even in this call, I was having a mental breakdown, to which they acknowledge I was having a manic episode in a later call. About 2 hours of me fighting with them, they eventually broke me down, they manipulated me, and got me to say I did wrong. That's not just my opinion, they full on say that. Now, obviously, I see I did nothing wrong, but I still believe these people weren't bad back then. I didn't think they would manipulate me, but the reality is, that's exactly what happened. The call ended, and I had a major manic episode. Now, after people saw Benny use the right calling me a sexual assaulter and me not doing anything to defend myself because Otto and them told me not to, all these people just believed I was a sexual assaulter. Instantly, I had, death threats and doxing threats, which didn't help my mental state. I tweeted out I was getting doxing threats, to which Otto DM'd me saying, saw your tweet, sorry that's happening, but when are you writing?
By the way, Otto would later go on to say she hadn't talked with Benny since the second call. The Discord statement was written the day after that call, so when she said that we're not happy with the statement, she isn't including Benny. Hey, I saw your tweet and I'm sorry to hear all that, but when were you planning on addressing everything publicly? Today, I'm going to write a statement. I saw the statement in the Discord. We were really not satisfied with it. To call it a misunderstanding is disingenuous to what Benny had to go through these past few weeks. I hope you can genuinely address everything in the same way that we did in the discussion yesterday.
A statement. Now, when writing the statement, Otto initially wanted me to tweet out that I committed SA with imprudence to the consequences, which is just, it's just crazy.
What? What?
Initially wanted me to tweet.
Oh. Hey guys, in regards to the Soda Breath situation, both sides have talked to one another. It's very clear that there was a miscommunication and misunderstanding on my part in terms of consent, and I admit I seriously messed up. So this is internet adjacent, or no? Oh, this is like, I guess him. This is editing it. Who cares? Who cares?
I committed an essay with imprudence to the consequences, which is it's just crazy. They eventually said, okay, well, you don't have to put sexual assault, but you can put sexual advances, and that you didn't do it maliciously. So did I sexually assault someone without care for the consequences, or no, Ada? So I wrote this statement, and that's where it was going to be for a while. I was going to get therapy and see what a therapist says. And then people.
I mean,
started
funnily enough, Tyrone, this is actually
and,
internet adjacent's tactic because
so
we wouldn't be watching this video without him.
To people like Labrat,
he told us
and Labrat
to.
told me, "Holy shit! Like this is insane that you're going through this." And then I started talking to more people, and then more people, and then more people, and then quite a lot of people, and all these people said nothing about this was sexual assault. And that's when I realized that I was getting manipulated by these people. I had a lengthy conversation with Ada. I didn't really do much. At one point, they sent me a huge thing about how could I think that she manipulated me. She's such a good friend. She drove all this way to see me. And then later on, I said I thought her making fun of my content out of nowhere was a dick move. And then she said I guilt tripped her, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Now, one person who was initially supposed to help, well, I say initially, but I don't even think they were. We'll call them A. Now, partway through the video's planning and all that, A went out of their way to tell Ada what we were doing because we wanted this video to be a surprise. We didn't want them to have time to prepare any like response because it's probably gonna be bullshit. And this A person went behind our backs and told them all about this. They told them everything. Now, while you may think A's actions and going around and telling people that we were making a video would royally fuck us over, but in fact, it did the exact opposite. Telling Ada about this video then led to Ada messaging Lab and asking to call. This would then lead to my favorite part of the whole story, and the part of the story that disproves literally everything they've said. The Yap Sesh.
The Yap Sesh was originally going to be here, and we thought it would be best suited to start this video, so instead of rehashing that part, we'll skip to what happened at the end of the call for the actions done by Jam Ada and Honk after. Alright, so all he's going to do is talk about the call. I'm not watching the rest of this. I'm not watching the rest of this. I don't need to watch the rest of this. Okay, so he doesn't really dispute almost anything that happened, he just disputes the framing. There you go, TLDR, the end. Okay, awesome, thanks. Alright, let's get back to it. Okay. Can we go back to making fun of Chibi reviews? I wish, dude. Alright. 74 pages, by the way, guys. Buckle up. Recently, he has appeared to have exercised examples of emotional manipulation and coerced me into giving him sexual favors. He can be seen continuously pestering me and instigating sexual-based topics of conversation to get me sexually engaged with him, despite red flags showing I was not reciprocating. By the way, I messaged Internet Adjacent and I said, hey, come up with any questions or things that you need to say in response to all of this. And then he said, I haven't been watching. And so let me just message him real quick and say, I encourage you to watch so you know what is being alleged against you. What I am saying and what you need to respond to. This is kind of the time to be watching. Like, hello? Are we kidding? Okay. He can be seen continuously pestering me and instigating sexual-based topics of conversation to get me to sexually engage with him, despite red flags showing that I was not reciprocating. I felt obligated to have sex with Wolfgang, and I didn't feel as if I had the ability to say no. That's a bold claim. While I seemingly didn't oblige, I was physically uncomfortable. I physically froze during numerous instances, and my body language showed that I was not enjoying it whatsoever, as I was close to throwing up during certain intervals. In reality, I only engaged because I was scared of the repercussions if I did not engage, since he was rather demanding during certain instances, and I was anxious as to not upset him. I had even told Wolf that I had difficulty stating no to people. I paid for his plane ticket, which was over $1,200. It was around $1,200, and felt compelled to engage to satisfy him, as he was consistently asking for sexual favors. There's the proof that he paid for it. As of recently, Wolfgang has now been requesting me to have also paid for the Airbnb that only he used and found, despite him not having a job, only having a job at Domino's, but also being paid a significant amount on YouTube the past month. Wolfgang also omits the fact that he, on his own volition, offered to pay the expenses of the Airbnb while I bought the plane ticket. Avalon and Parlo, new problem. How would me and Zillow even go halvesies on the place? Y'all want to call in here later? I gotta go out and grab my paycheck. I'll book the Airbnb when you PayPal me the rest. Chilling in bed, I'm a little confused on what to do, like with the Airbnb, since I can't stay over. I'll pay for it and you can come and visit. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's already in contradiction to what he said. And it has proof. Oh. Oh. Okay. Under no circumstances did I ever state that I was going to pay for the Airbnb and plane ticket, especially when he stated he would book and pay for it on his own volition as late as the 7th October 2025, since he was the only person using it. The plane ticket was considerably expensive, and the Airbnb would have only been purchased by me, as discussed on October 2nd, if it was $800 for the plane ticket. How much is the plane ticket, though? I have no idea. And I need to speak to my dad about permission to go to the apartment because of the bail conditions. Oh. Oh. Do you think he'd allow you? Also, sorry if I go AWOL a bit. I'm at the hospital right now. Oh shit, what happened? I can talk about it later. I'm uncomfortable with the subject right now and might not even go home tonight. Then he sends a picture of him in the hospital. Hey, how have you been? I've been speaking to Zillow and nobody knows what happened. I was getting really concerned. And then he responds. Suicide baiting, example 1. Example of Wolfgang attempting to fish for sympathy due to his situation at the hospital. This was due to him being dissuaded from the fact that I was not responding to him enough and giving him attention. He is seen instigating the topic of conversation about him being in the hospital to elicit a response following an image of him in the hospital while stating, hey, to once again get my attention, to which I am seen expressing my concern. I mean, is that suicide baiting? I don't know. We don't know why he was in the hospital. Is that suicide baiting? I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. Okay. We'll walk around a bit, but head back at 6:30. Then we'll all get ready and leave at 7:30 to 8. Okay. Do you want a drink? Not really if I'm doing something tomorrow. Where are y'all right now? I'm in Waterloo. We haven't left yet. Should I come down then? Wolfgang is seen offering me if I want to have alcohol, with me being dissuaded from taking it, making the excuse that if we were to do anything tomorrow, alcohol would complicate the situation. Okay. Yes, I can meet it too. Sweet will be there. Want to cuddle in bed for a bit. I want to blow you in the femboy outfit. I'm heading to Waterloo right now. Where are y'all? I'll be down soon and at Earsville right now. Evidence B. Wolfgang is seen asking if I want to cuddle and proposing oral sex, with me airing the proposal due to me being uncomfortable and instead stating what station I was at to swiftly change the topic of conversation, as I was dissuaded from wanting to engage in sexual acts with him, this being abundantly clear when examining the text messages between me and him. Wait, that's actually I hadn't even thought about this until now. He has only in Internet Adjacent's doc, it's only Discord messages. This has text messages, which means that there was stuff being left out, at the very least. I'm not saying that indicates some sort of guilt, but there was stuff that was being left out. Okay. I wouldn't respond, haha, hot. I wish I wasn't so sleepy. Me too. I would have sucked you dry. Okay. It's okay, I can do that tomorrow. You up? Yeah, but I probably won't be down until 1. I literally on the dot just got up 3 minutes ago. That's okay. I don't think Zillow is even awake. I haven't showered yet. Evidence C. Wolfgang was seen attempting to instigate the sexual-based conversation with me in regards to oral sex and proposed that he could just do it tomorrow, as I offered the excuse that I didn't want to, as I was quote-unquote sleepy. I was seen not engaging or replying because I did not want to have sex with Wolfgang. Wolfgang also was then seen posting unsolicited messages. Waterloo right now, sitting down. Are you down for me to just come down? It may take super long. Yeah, for sure. Sky's going for a walk, but then I'll be in the Airbnb. We got snacks. Also, he might also stay over at someone's tonight so we get the place to ourselves. Like someone at a club? Yeah. I get you. I want to see if I can record a script maybe. At here? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll see. Wolfgang was seen claim Zillow was going to stay at someone else's house, someone being a theoretical person he met at the club. This was said by Wolf to instigate the topic of conversation to me and him having the Airbnb to ourselves to have sex. In reply, I was seen making the excuse that I wanted to record a script, hinting that I would be preoccupied, not engaging with the flow of conversation by referencing sex whatsoever. Okay. These are all great clips for the Himpleton soundboard. Listen, send them to me as an MP3, and I will make them part of the Himpleton soundboard. Don't worry. Wolfgang very openly did not want Zillow to share the Airbnb during several instances, resulting in him just asking Zillow to leave late at night in a town unknown to him. just so that he could sexually engage with me by himself. What do you want to do about Zilla, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. I know, we can do it another time you want. We can do it the third or fourth day. It's up to you. I'd rather tonight, though. I can ask him to dip for a bit. Evidence E. Wolfgang is seen stating that he does not want Zillow in the other room while he has sex, with me stating that we could push it the day back, showing that I did not want to necessarily have sex that day either. Wolfgang states it's up to you, but then is seen stating I'd rather tonight though, coaxing me into the idea that I need to have sex with him as soon as he arrives to satisfy him and not upset him, despite me very evidently not wanting to. Wolfgang is then seen stating I can ask him, Zillow, to dip for a bit. It is disrespectful for Wolfgang to have forced Zillow, who just turned 18, to go outside of the Airbnb in a city he is not accustomed to late at night, just so he can engage sexually with someone by himself. This caused Zilla to have 2 uncomfortable confrontations from strangers that could have put him in direct danger. During the sexual experiences, I was extremely comfortable that Zilla was essentially forced out of the accommodation that he shared. Do you want me to change and then we can do stuff? Zilla's down to head out for a bit. Wolfgang is seen once again instigating the topic of conversation about having sex after he changes his clothes. I'm seen in reply shutting down his proposition and saying that I just want to chill on Minecraft. I use this as an excuse, as in reality I didn't want to have sex. Wolfgang was also seen stating that Zillow was about to head out on again. Okay. Do you still want to try topping? I could, but I'm stressy about it all. I don't know if I'd be able to stay hard. We can try something tonight before you leave to see. I kind of want to blow you in this outfit, TBH. That'll tell us if you can stay hard. I was actually about to leave pretty soon since I keep falling asleep. Haha. That's okay. Wolfgang was seen instigating a sexual-based topic of conversation in regards to topping. In reply, I was stating that I could. However, I was too stressy and that I wouldn't be able to stay hard. Telltale statements to indicate the fact that I would not be comfortable enough to engage. Wolfgang was seen not picking up on this and instead sought to continue pushing for sex, stating that we can try something tonight. That'll tell us if you can stay hard. In reply, I am seen stating that I was about to leave soon to defuse and shut down the topic of conversation, to which Wolfgang is then seen saying, "Oh, that's okay." By the afternoon, I was already dissuaded from engaging sexually as I was tired and hungry waiting for him. I was seen stating that I was still willing to engage, but I wanted to make him finish as quickly as possible. He then replied that when I wanted to do it, with me stating I was hungry and I needed to eat, basically pushing the point that I wanted to get it over with. When Wolfgang eventually arrived, which was about 10:15 GMT, I was further dissuaded from wanting to engage sexually after seeing what he looked like IRL and the disparaging difference from his online pictures, since his hygiene was not exactly the best. Uh-oh. Wolfgang, however, immediately wanted sex, since earlier I stated that I would, and I felt as if I was obliged not to upset him, as I had a change of mind. I'm going to make you blow as quickly as humanly possible. You have no idea. Do you want to... Okay, so we've already read that. When do you want to do it? Before food. How do you want to do it for? Okay, we already read that. Wolfgang knew that I was extremely hungry in these message logs, and I was seen asking how long it would be because I wanted the experience to be quick. Wolfgang was seen attempting to rush the situation before 12 so we could get pizza afterwards, which put stress on me to do it soon, with me still attempting to procrastinate, telling him to give me a bit. 11:04. I'm hungry and I need to eat. Shower gel. Shower sex? I'll call as soon as I get to Paddington. I'm on the train right now. As discerned by these messages, I made it clear I was hungry and dodged and disengaged from his advances, trying to pry for shower sex. Shower sex. Oh, Parlo Gaming. I apologize for the formatting issues to these documents. Some of these screenshots have been moved in place. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. What do we do about Zillow? Okay, so you already showed that. That's fine. I was already anxious and not wanting to engage. Wolfgang was attempting to get Zillow to leave, and I proposed another time because I simply did not want to have sex that day or in the foreseeable future. Wolfgang was then seen stating it was up to me, giving me the illusion of choice, despite then following up with what he wanted, which was to do it tonight and before 12, which I felt pressured and obligated to get it over with. As long as we can, if we're... Yeah, sure. All that stuff. Wolfgang was extremely keen on doing anal with me, being extremely conflicted on the proposition. Wolfgang opened one of the condoms out of the packet, hastily attempting to take control of the situation, despite me in numerous intervals being extremely hesitant to do anal, or let alone any sex in general, because I was extremely reluctant, tired, and hungry. He opened his condom, however, showing that he wanted to engage in anal sex, despite me making a multitude of excuses on why I really didn't. Going over my stresses and anxiety and problems with anal. I do faintly remember consistently saying no. Instead, I opted to do the bare minimum, being oral, to satisfy him because he openly told me he wanted sex, and I didn't want to upset him on his first day because I spent hundreds to see him and he spent hours to get here. What transpired was me being close to sick numerous times and finishing him off with my hands as I was physically repulsed and wanted this situation to get over with. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Vape break. He would ask me if he wanted to film the situation, to which I declined. He appeared rather dissatisfied, to which he then told me to use the purple glitter dildo he provided called the Cinderella, which when I inserted hurt and was rather uncomfortable, but I did regardless just to satisfy Wolfgang. Wolf also fingered me without my permission, and it hurt when it was extremely uncomfortable, to which I abruptly used my body language to move. Okay, so I guess that's a dildo censored, and then that's the open condom. Okay. The phallic object is censored on the top shelf phallic object, dude. Jesus Christ. The condom ripped open from the wrapper is seen on the shelf, corroborating the authenticity of the situation. He was willing to use it while I was visibly shaken and uncomfortable and was stating no. I offered to do it again another time, which was indicative of me not willing to do it then and stalling. I made it clear I did not wish to have sex that day and dodged any advances Wolf tried to make both in person and in Discord messages. Do you still... Okay, so this is the stressy message about topping. Okay. When I decided to leave earlier to avoid his consistent requests, he leaned in to try to kiss me, which I avoid just to hug him. He then attempted to recorrect the situation by then leaning in to kiss me once again, to which I very uncomfortably reciprocated before leaving. In regards to what actually happened, he put his hand on my thigh. Oh, okay, so this is previous allegations levied against Wolfgang. And we've already read this part. In 2024 Anthrocon, Wolfgang was seen alleged to have been touchy with someone without their full express permission and leaned in to kiss them without their reciprocation and ignoring the red flags present. This bears striking similarities to my situation. Ah, that's okay. I'm not all that horny. I was yesterday, though. Okay, so we've already read this. Train stop at 12. I have to take an Uber now. I was seen stating that I wasn't horny and making excuses as to why I didn't want to engage. He offered to walk me back to the station, but after how uncomfortable I was, I chose to go by myself. After Wolfgang was seen pushing me for him to perform oral sex on me while he was in his femboy clothes, I eventually obliged shyly. This was following him consistently messaging me to join in his room, to which made Zillow uncomfortable as he was in the other room watching this happen. Zillow then proceeded to leave. The sex act was extremely uncomfortable, and I was essentially laying very rigidly on the bed, essentially frozen in place, while also on my phone to try to break the tension of the situation and take my mind off the discomfort and pain, essentially attempting to kill time until it was eventually over. Dude, bro was like browsing Twitter while this was... Okay, that sucks. That's sad. Okay. It was painful as I made it very obvious I was extremely delicate and sensitive beforehand. I did not derive any sexual satisfaction, and I remained completely soft, to which Wolfgang made a comment about and acknowledged how timid and awkward I was. When Wolfgang leaned over to kiss, I never engaged first. However, I felt obligated to pretend reciprocate as not to make the situation awkward. However, I was greatly dissuaded due to his lack of personal hygiene. I attempted to cuddle mainly because it was the bare minimum. Wolfgang then decided to take photos of us kissing without my consent, and then decided to send those photos to other people such as Cyan to brag about the situation behind my back. He was then seen bragging about kissing me the day prior to numerous mutuals and was again done without my consent. He never once informed me that he would be sharing these images to other people, thereby violating my privacy. So I guess a follow-up question to ask Parlo, and if he's in chat he can answer this, is, so it was initially you gave permission initially for him to take the pictures, just not to share them around, correct? Because then that would show that Adjacent was lying by omission, because he talked about how, like, the pictures were taken with consent, but then the sharing was not. Okay. In these photos, I look disillusioned and have covered most of my face because I didn't want to be photographed. Okay. Blank. This was an hour ago. I don't know what that is. We were making out. Ah, I see. All right, forward. Come in here. I do want my pee-pee sucked. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to read that, but... Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, whoever that was. So, then... I do want my pee-pee sucked, lol. I might be a little horny, but you have to be delicate. Okay. And then the next... I guess not the next day. I think that was... Okay, that was probably the 13th or something. But then you and Zilla will call me and Samuel later. You will. Okay, cool. In the Discord screenshot presented, Wolfgang was messaging me on Discord about engaging and then stating to me while I was busy creating a document to check what I sent you. I sent the pyrocynical document I was working on to excuse why I was not reciprocating nor engaging. However, Wolfgang did not pick up on this and proceeded to once again ask me to come in here and meet him. 10 minutes later, after he asked in person to meet again, I obliged timidly to get the situation over with. 13th October 2025 shower situation. Following the aforementioned incident, Zillow returned and we all collectively planned to go to bars to socialize and to drink. Wolfgang hoped that Zillow would not be returning back, so after a couple of drinks that I would potentially have, we could re-engage in sexual intercourse. Wolfgang was seen consistently pushing the idea of shower sex. Zillow also attested, since he was in the adjacent room, that I offered to have a shower first before Wolfgang, questioning who would go first, clearly pushing the motive that I did not want to share a shower with him nor engage sexually at the time following the prior incident. Wolfgang was then seen entering the room regardless after me, and entering not only the bathroom but the shower itself while I washed myself. I did not make direct eye contact as I purposefully looked the other way as I was extremely uncomfortable and I got undressed very timidly. While I washed, he offered to rub soap on my back. As I quickly got ready to leave, I observed his shavings in the bathroom sink, and then he asked me to rub soap on his back, which made me uncomfortable. When I left after the ordeal, Zillow took a notice of how unsettling a dynamic in the situation was and left. In all of these instances, it was very easy to decipher that I was uncomfortable. Zillow was able to clearly discern this. However, I tried to make it light of the situation at the time because of how grossed out I felt. Perhaps Wolfgang did not pick up on all of the examples of this. However, he was rushed into the situation thinking only about himself and his personal desires. Zillow situation. Zillow is publicly known to have been 17, turning 18 on September 30th, 2025. Wolfgang knew his age. Zillow was born September 30th, 2007. Okay, and this is him like saying how long it is until he turns 18. One more day. Please stop trying to get Parlo platform. It's not going to work. Since when was Parlo mentioned? Avalon, happy birthday. Why so glum? Wolfgang. All right. Zillow was seen counting down the days until his 18th birthday in a group chat, which contained close mutuals and Wolfgang. Wolfgang also knew that this was Zillow counting down till his birthday. Wolfgang was publicly known to have been 21 at the time, with him being born on 31st March of 2004. Uh-oh. Wait. Where are we going with this? Water break. Okay. This means there is a 3-year, 5-month, and 30-day age gap between them. 3.5-year age gap. What's 9 plus 10? Stop stealing 21. Okay, you're evil. Birthday person 1. So yeah, difference is 3 and 5 months. As soon as Zillow turned 18, 2 days later, Wolfgang proceeded to get sexual in his DMs, sending unsolicited nudes, to which Zillow felt forced to receive and compliment, as Wolf would bait him for positive attention. Wolfgang also proposed to have a 3-way at the Airbnb when we met, insinuating Zillow to have been involved. When Zillow asked for clarification, Wolf turned this into him being willing to engage and had then proceeded to tell me about it. This isn't mentioned in the doc, but I'm almost positive, maybe I'm tripping. I'm almost positive that Internet Adjacent told me that Zillow was the one to propose the 3-way. Uh-oh. Okay. Can you join VC real quick? Can I ask him there? I can't, unfortunately. I'm going to uni. Oh, okay. You want me to just put it here? It's about the 3-way we talked about before. Yes. Do you want to call about it? To help with uni before tomorrow. Zillow said he wanted to do a 3-way, like, before he got all sleepy. Like, in general with you and someone else who is a third. Like, anyone else who could be a third. No, like you, me, and him. Oh, yes. I'd love that. Nice. Only if he'd be down with me, though. Because, like, I don't know that he named me. Well, yeah. He seems a little sleepy right now. I talked about it a bit ago, but he asked me about it today. Did he mention me in general, though? Yeah, I said me and you want to do a 3-way at some point, but that we'd only do it with people we're cool with, and he asked me about it today. Dude. Also, Avalon, aka Zillow, is these two guys' managers. It's like their YouTube manager. Just feels important to note, right? Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay, I want to make sure nobody's in waiting. All right, we're good. October 7th, 2025. These messages took place only a week after Zillow turned 18. Wolfgang was seen vehemently claiming that Zillow was willing to engage, despite my reluctance to believe this entirely. Opinion? 3-piece halter top, best femboy ever. Okay. And then women, gothic, crop talk, skeleton, blah, blah, blah. All right, awesome. This stock is from Parlo. Okay. The stock is from Parlo. It is towards internet adjacent. There you go. There you go. All right. You want to see the updated club fit? Bet. I would show the third, but my ass is kind of showing. Lol. Just shaved my whole body. Wolfgang was seen throughout very early October showing Zillow sexualized outfits that he wanted to purchase 3 days after Zillow turned 18. Wolfgang also hinted at showing Zillow NSFW images only a week after he turned 18. These were all messages sent directly to Zillow, including an instance 8 days later where Wolfgang talked about his full body shave. Imagine Zillow in you as I'm in him. Yes. Whew. Oh, man. Sorry. This is tough. I need more nicotine. Like, I'm confused on how these three-ways work. I've never done it before. Same. I mean, let's lay out how everyone is in bed first. You, me, Zilla, you and Zilla both prefer bottom, and I prefer top. Wolfgang is seen making his sexual fantasies known to Zilla, stating that he wanted to have sex with him. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Check out this great place to stay in Greater London, guys. Huh. Huh. Yeah. So then, I guess these are nudes of internet adjacent. And then he responds with a picture of The Rock that says in the DC universe? What's going on? What's going on? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, in Greater London. Then, I guess, probably a penis pic. Wolfgang was seen creating a group chat called Oktoberfest with me and Zillow. This group chat was created to center around the idea of a three-way between us. Wolfgang in this group chat posted unsolicited images pertaining to an NSFW furry commissions that he made and posted nudes of himself dressed up along with a picture of his penis and his dildo. This was 8 days after Zillow turned 18. Wolfgang was speaking consistently about an apparent three-way planned for the October trip in front of Zillow when he was still 17 in September. When Zillow asked for further clarification once he turned 18 about if Wolf meant with three-way including him, Wolf took this as an example of Zillow asking to participate and went around telling me and numerous other people about it. He didn't ask to have sex with me. He asked if I wanted to do a three-way. If we wanted to do a three-way. Yeah, I said I said me and you want to do a three-way at some point. Zilla said he wanted to do the three-way. It's about the three ways we talked about before. Ace Howler, what are you doing here? What the fuck? Ace cameo. Wow. Alright then, take care, man. Also, alright, although I do believe he did mention the three-way stuff to Sam in a call. I think the biggest threat of things becoming public is ironically from him, TBH. And look at where we are now. Wolfgang was seen sharing this information with numerous YouTubers such as Ace Howler and Samuel without Zilla's permission. Wolfgang was then seen sharing private DMs of me being sexual with him to numerous other mutuals and YouTubers without my permission. Wolfgang was seeming to condition Zillow into sexual-based topics of discussion in preparation for him to turn 18, to which he would then escalate his behavior. On Monday, the 13th of October, me and Zilla went back to the Airbnb one last time to collect our belongings and equipment. Wolfgang was awoken by the door opening and asked us what was happening, to which Zilla did not engage and I uncomfortably explained the situation. This was recorded. Oh. Oh. Okay. Hello?
Let me check if I have everything. Okay, so do you want me to be honest? When we did stuff, I felt rather pressured to do it. Yeah, it's just like regarding the like start of the thing. Oh, for goodness sake, my fucking flashlight's not working. I just felt kind of pressured to do stuff for you because I didn't want to make you feel upset if I didn't do anything.
You can tell me no when it comes to that stuff. You don't have to.
I know, but I felt afraid that if saying no would just piss you off because I spent about 1,000 on that ticket. But I mean, I was just saying things that was.
I even told you we don't have to do stuff until December if you want.
I mean, I tried not to necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I told you we can wait if you wanted.
I did. But regarding the shower stuff, I was like saying about like I do you want to have a shower first before after me?
I'm sorry.
And then regarding like anal and stuff, you like ripped the condom and you were like, oh, do you want to do anal now? Do you want to do anal now?
Yeah, and then you said sure, and then I took the condom out, and then you're like, no. I'm like, okay, I put it back.
Why would I say that?
That's what you said.
Hi, Sliggins.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I don't know. I just felt a bit off put by everything. I feel like it was rushed a little too much. You feel me? And regarding like the other stuff, when you like asked me a lot, like to go in bed and do that stuff, I just didn't really feel anything, and it was pretty uncomfortable as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that.
I don't know. Let me just do one last sweep and check. I might be back again, don't worry. But I just want to make sure I have everything for now, because I like...
Well, what's going on? Please, speak to me.
Speak to me.
I just feel like sometimes, and I don't think you intend for it, but sometimes you just push in, it puts a lot of stress on me.
I'm sorry.
And the sex thing as well, it's like, I just felt like I had to do it, like the day you came over, because, I don't know, I was already really tired, and I just felt like I had to do it because I didn't want to upset you. Yep.
You don't have to.
I didn't see that in my messages.
This is a serious situation, Desali, okay? I'm not gonna start crying.
No, please. What did I do? I don't. What?
Okay, I think that's everything. We can talk about it tomorrow.
I don't want you guys to hate me.
I know, but I'm pretty uncomfortable with everything, man.
Sorry.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. I wish you the best.
Okay. Wolfgang was heard profusely crying and apologizing, stating I could have just stated no and that he told me we didn't have to do anything. So then this is the you could have just said no thing from Anthrocon. Wolfgang is seen making this exact same claim to somebody who accused him of improper conduct. You could have just said no. This is contrasted by the numerous statements he made where he pushed me for sex at the times he would like. For example, on the 11th, he stated that he would rather just do it as soon as he came, stating for us to do it before 12 p.m., or his consistent messages asking for me to sexually engage with him on the 12th, to come to his room on the 13th, where I eventually timidly obliged. Also, it just, I'm not assuming, I don't know if anybody's sent donos or anything, but if you send a dono, I'll read it after this doc, before we get either IA or Parlo in. It's up to you. I'd rather tonight, though. I can ask him for to dip for a bit, as long as we can last, I guess. If we are going to, we should before 12. Come in here. Okay. Wolfgang was heard apologizing for the shower situation and not denying what I stated in regards to me asking if I could go in first, before he decided to come in with me regardless, as he had fetishized and fantasized about the experience. Wolfgang was heard corroborating the condom statement by claiming he stopped after I said no. This was him neglecting to mention the numerous excuses I made, which led up to him from disengaging, including stating no several times, and that I was not comfortable doing it. He, in the best case scenario, somehow did not pick up on my body language or social cues, clearly illustrating how stressed I was. Okay. So then we've already read this from Gebel and Fake Wolf, who's Benny. This bears striking similarities to the prior situation pertaining to Wolfgang, where Gibble is seen stating that they agreed initially, as did I, and they changed their minds and stated no repeatedly. In my case, I was clearly stressed and made excuses for why I didn't want to do it, and while I then said no numerous times. Wolfgang stated in audio that he was sorry and didn't mean it. He was then seen in DMs with his mutuals stating that he ruined everything. This is exactly what Bennett stated in their call-out tweet. You to delete them. Then when we got back to the Airbnb, you started DMing me and said that we'd somehow led you into a sexual situation and hadn't informed you, that I basically forced you to drink. I didn't want you there and I should have dished you. Then you went on to whine and say I ruined everything so many times that I had to tell you to stop or I wouldn't forgive you, which I don't. Stop lying and take accountability. I hope this is enough drama for your furry discourse. Got it. What the fuck? God. Fucking damn it, dude. Somebody come kill me. Did somebody shoot me? Please. Oh, God. Soul, there's nobody in the fucking panel yet. You're not scammed. Die. How much for a question? I mean, listen, I'd love to be a Jew and say $5, but like anything that, as long as, as long as your question appears in the super chat, I'm gonna be able to read it. So, however much it takes for you to ask your question. Wolfgang is seen posting furry and SFW to me showing anatomically correct canine genitalia artwork. This artwork showed canine knots and the genitalia did not bear humanoid characteristics, which is typically seen in anthropomorphic NSFW artwork. Oh. So this has dog knots, which is like essentially feral, right? That's feral. So that's feral, which is like, that's like zoo adjacent at the very least, right? When you use, listen, here's my take on this. If you use anatomically correct animal genitalia, you probably want to have sex with an animal. Is that controversial? Because why would you be sexualizing a dog's genitalia unless you're into dogs? Why not just have a human pussy on it, right? You can just have a human pussy on it. That's what like furry stuff is. It's like furry stuff is like the when you have like the human genitalia on like the animal, right? This is just like you have animal genitalia on it. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Fucking, I am wrong. Okay. Well, I said that it's comparable to feral. Maybe if I said it is feral, then that's on me, buddy. That's on me. Okay. But I don't know. At the very least, it's very strange. It's very weird. I don't like it. Okay. Is that fair enough? All right. What about dragon something? I don't know. Maybe you want to fuck dragons. I mean, I guess it's better that it's a fictional creature. I don't know. Dude, I'm not the fucking arbiter of this, okay? Yo, hey, I got in trouble as soon as I came back, so then a bunch of spoilers. When he shared this content with me, I did not respond out of discomfort. Yeah, okay. Where are you at right now? What do you mean? On your way home, I mean. Up to Zilla and Parlo if they want you there, but Samuel is going to be there. Oh, Samuel? Samuel? What? Huh? Samuel? What? Oh, dude, I'm home already. Oh, chill. How are you feeling? So fucking excited to have this convo. Why? Cause Wolfgang is seen bragging that he's excited to confront me about the situation, putting a false act of confidence. You and Zilla will call me and Samuel later. Then he tries on 3 days later. Wolfgang is seen attempting to call me unprompted about the situation on the 17th of October, 2025. I did not agree to this call. Okay, if this isn't in the doc, I do have a question. What is the whole thing about the fight? I heard that there was like a fight, like a physical altercation that Internet Adjacent had. What is that all about? I'm so curious. I'm very curious. I need to know. I'm just a fly on the wall here. I need to know. Why did he have a physical altercation? And was it with a stranger? What was the deal? I was promised there would be a lot of content this stream so far, and I'm falling asleep. Thanks, Aiden. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a content creator is make your personal life your content. Wolfgang is now seen posting vague threats and subtweets as of 22nd October 2025. Okay. In December, I'll be in Latvia visiting my family. Well, real dad's side anyway. That sounds fun. Trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now. Take it easy. I fucked everything up. Wait, whoa, what happened? Zilla and Parlo are mad at me. Wolfgang is seen admitting to a close mutual that he's trying to get me to cuddle up in bed. A blatant self-admission that he was pushing me to conform to what he wanted. 6 hours later, he's seen stating that he fucked up. In Wolfgang's preemptive response document, he was seen attempting to excuse a consistent pushing as simply him going to the other room to have access to electrical outlets. Damn, dude, he got this in advance. Okay. In reality, the reason I was going in and out of the bedroom is that I had only one outlet in Airbnb where I could use my phone. Trying to get him to cuddle in bed. Okay, we already saw that. Wolfgang is seen directly contradicting himself with his intentions that have been made clear in DMs with Bite. Wolfgang would come in and out of the bed. Okay, so this is Avalon saying this. Wolfgang would come in and out of the bedroom pretty frequently. A lot of the time prompted when we spoke to each other. He'd just kind of sit there at the end of the sofa for a few minutes, then say, I'm going to bed, and go back into that bedroom again and again, doing it multiple times, and it got to the point where he flat out said something along the lines of, please come to bed with me. At that point, I got weirded out and left the apartment. I suspected it him being pushy as you were very obvious blanking his advances / moves, and his intent made a lot more sense to me when I saw the whole Bite message and stuff. Zillow, who was present at the Airbnb at the time, also attests that Wolfgang was attempting to push me to engage with him in the bedroom, attesting that he had heard Wolfgang saying something along the lines of, please come to bed with me, despite my blatant lack of reciprocation and my body language clearly showing how disengaged I was. It's me! It's me! What the freak? I talked to him. Parlo, how are you proceeding? He is still willing to publicly lie about me if I go public, so in order for everyone to avoid that headache, we made some sort of agreement to both to never speak of this situation again. Given the fact that this has now gone to people like Morale, I think this is probably beyond your control, but you do you, I guess. Lol. It's me. Hi. Internet adjacent being seen stating to Himpleton we made some sort of agreement to both never speak this situation again. This was said after our conversation that took place on the 8th of November 2025. And this is the conversation. Well, no, it's not, but that's okay. IA just said if you don't call him by tomorrow, he's going public. What do you want to do? It's your call. I can make GC or whatever. I'm really stressed right now. I'm not doing good. Sad face. He keeps fucking pushing me. I can't handle this. I feel sick. He says he unblocked you and now he wants to talk via DMs. I want to cry. I can't do this. Jesus. Who the fuck is this person, dude? They seem like the life of the party. I was originally notified of Wolfgang attempting to make this situation public in the morning of the 8th by a close friend and mutual friend who expressed how they felt extremely distressed at how Wolfgang was essentially pressuring us to get into a call to discuss the situation despite me feeling extremely uncomfortable. Morale reached out to me about this the other day because you know why? Because Aiden said something about it on his stream. That's why. Okay? So, then, the 8th of November, Parlo says, I find it absolutely disgusting that you've been pushing and pressuring mutuals about the situation and you're instigating currently to make this matter a public drama, quote unquote. The amount of stress that you've been causing to my friends is absolutely disgusting and you know exactly what you're doing. You're extremely entitled and it is showing very clearly. Not to mention the lies and misinformation you've been spreading behind the scenes about me. You're making straw man arguments and debunking them to make it seem like I'm lying. I've made it clear that we should split ways and just not engage with one another, yet you seem to have this preconceived notion that it's my situation that has caused other people to be dissuaded from wanting to talk to you. It's not. I have all the evidence, testimony, and chat logs. People don't want to speak to you for separate reasons. I will not speak for them, though. You're not going to magically salvage the situation by getting preemptively ahead of the situation. People have a problem with you because of your own disgusting conduct you exhibited outside, irregardless of what you did to me. I already feel extremely uncomfortable even engaging in this, especially more so, I feel pressured to have this call because you've essentially threatened to make it a public matter through an extremely stressed and concerned mutual. If that's the case, then you should have zero issue with having this call today. If you have all this mountain of evidence about what happened in October, then there should be zero issue. You think my discomfort of speaking about the situation is somehow proof that I'm lying. You simply can't comprehend that I don't want to talk about the situation, I don't want to be reminded of it. And you pushing for the call doesn't make you look good optically. I think I distinctly remember what happened and my feelings and my body language at the time. And so do I. And while you don't want to talk about the situation, as Zillow and I have discovered, this is still being spread around. The more people who know about it, the more likely it becomes public. So we can put this in the ground today, and I guarantee it doesn't, or we can keep running around like headless chickens and wait for it to leak to the public. I mean, I can attest to the fact that, like, I think it's a little hypocritical on Internet Adjacent's part to say this, because he was the person, like, spreading this to the greater community. The reason the greater community knew about this is because of Internet Adjacent. Right. I am seen clearly highlighting why I was dissuaded from wanting to engage with him on call. I am also expressing my unwillingness for this entire situation to become public. Wolfgang is seen stating in response that we could put this situation in the ground today and guarantee it doesn't become public. Why are you gaslighting? You've literally been telling commentary YouTubers, acting like you're buddy-buddy with them, and that they have their finger on the release button, paraphrase from what you said about it in calls. You've literally been talking to a few of them about the situation, which is the sole reason for why it is being spread around. Everyone in private can attest to that I just want to fucking move on from the incident, and I don't want to be reminded of what happened. I've talked to 3 people. You also talked to drama YouTubers, and yes, I have been by some of them, but to release this to the public. I want nothing more than just to move on from this more than anything, but the fact that I keep hearing about it from more and more people makes me feel like this is nowhere even close to being possible. I have tried multiple times to get them to move on from this, and it gets brought back up every time. I am seen attesting that once again, I do not want to be reminded of the incident, just want to move on privately. Wolfgang is seen stating that he wants to move on this more than anything. Water break. Jesus, Aiden. Aiden's getting pissed, dude. Just glance out and I see fucking paragraphs from Aiden, bro. Yeah, 79 pages, Aiden. Yeah, I know. Wolfgang was attempting to leverage the excuse that that people know about the situation and are spreading it to preemptively get ahead of this, neglecting to process how it was himself who was talking about and discussing the situation in numerous commentary YouTubers who are, of course, going to discuss the situation privately. Who are, of course, going to do True. He has a friend right now. He is telling stuff. I say a friend like that because he genuinely sees this person as a friend, but I don't think it's reciprocated. But now that friend of his is a friend of mine, hence how I found out. I wonder who the fuck that is about. That's interesting. Like, if you could guesstimate how many people, what's the number at? Like 10 to 15? Like YouTubers. Around 10 odd. Apparently, he was talking about the details in an open server call too, but without mentioning Parlo's name. That's true. That was my server. He did do that. That did happen. Not great, not terrible. Was that open call recent? Like within the past weekish? According to Hempleton, it was last night. Lamau. Dude, I'm in history. He talked about it pretty blatantly in my VC last night, just didn't say names. I think he's getting a lot more loose with it. That's me. Numerous testimonies from commentary YouTubers in contact with Wolfgang who attest that he was openly speaking about the situation and alluding what happened. I want nothing more than to move on. Why are you not being truthful? You were literally speaking in VC about the situation yesterday with 2 tons of YouTubers, all of which who came to me and said that you're being open with this, which is a stupid idea. I'm not being open. I talked to Hempleton, which I've done from the start, and yeah, I haven't mentioned you by name at all, at least in public. I think, unless I wasn't there. And you were speaking to tons of YouTubers. It was me, Hempleton, and who already knows, Goat Cato, and Aiden. Lol. Who it appears someone has already told. They literally all know. You're directly referencing me. You are also now conceding to the fact that you're telling more people. Yeah. No, I absolutely didn't, Lamau. Not once did I say that. I alluded to Hempleton to the fact that stuff was happening. That's what I did. I want nothing more than to move on. I'm not being open. Continuously talking about in open VCs about the situation after, mind you promised Zillow and others to not make this a shit face, which would affect everyone. And I said nothing that could even tangentially relate back to you guys. I said there is a call hopefully on the 14th without naming anyone. The fact that they know is because other people are leaking shit Parlo. All right, let me make sure that IA is gonna call in after this. Then server mute you. Okay. So Sorry, just corresponding. Glup, glup. Okay, awesome. And yeah, I literally just stopped happening with Himbleton. I wasn't aware people like Aiden and Goat Cattle already knew about the situation, which I was as vague as possible. I didn't say names, didn't mention specifics, literally only said I had a call the other day and another call is hopefully planned. That could be 14 fucking different situations, but somehow someone has been leaking stuff, so people like Goat Cattle, Morale, and Aiden, they know at the very least something happened. Didn't he also talk to Dickers, internet adjacent? Isn't that a thing that happened? Am I tripping? Why do you think my reluctance to join the call invalidates my experience to make me a liar, especially with everything else I have to deal with right now? You have zero idea with what you're dealing with right now. No. Okay. You do know a considerable amount. You know exactly what stuff I'm dealing with. And yeah, I think it's weird not to want to join a call when most people here have the stance that at the very least a misunderstanding happened. Maybe not anything post-October. I really don't. You know about the rest, strikes, financial position. And rather than to try to resolve one big stressful thing in both of our lives, especially after Zillow and Arctica both said that this just seems like a misunderstanding, you instead have ignored and actually went on to try and slander me as a zoophile and invalidate my mental health by saying I suicide bait. Dude, I was in a fucking hospital weeks ago because of my deteriorating mental health. What on fucking earth are you talking about? Oh, so it was about suicidal stuff. So I wonder if that is suicide bait from earlier. I'll let chat decide. Frisk is openly lying, and I can't wait to debunk the GoFundMe lie. Okay. We'll hear about that, man. I don't even know who Frisk is, man, but for sure. And you were willing to publish that. Wolfgang is seen saying how I ignored his efforts of resolving the stressful situation in both of our lives. He is seen stating that I attempted to slander him as a zoophile. This is not true. My document does not claim that he's a zoophile at all. It only describes the nature of the images he posted, but stops short of making any definitive claim. Zoophilia was warned at the start of the document only as a trigger warning. Yeah, fair. I mean, I don't think it's zoophilia. I think it's really weird. That's the most I'll say, right? Goat was mentioned once. That means they're the mastermind. True. Dog, like at a certain point, I just gotta throw in the towel. This is starting to get ridiculous. The only time recently he really messages is when he knows I'm upset. As corroborated in recent screenshots where Wolfgang was attempting to engineer a conversation with me posting images of himself at the hospital to elicit a reaction. Wolfgang was seen mentioning to a mutual that he is upset about how I don't respond to him unless I know he is upset. Suicide baiting example number 2. The topic of suicide baiting is something attested by past mutual Wolfgangs in the past, showing how there is a history of reoccurring behavior. So some guy who is in a furry server says, where did IA debunk the doc? The first thing I read was IA's doc response to all of this because he was trying to get ahead of it, essentially. So basically, Wolf and I got into a heated argument where we were talking about supporting a controversial creator. He said something along the lines of the furry community is the worst to being a danger to minors as 18+ accounts are not being private. I brought up that there is worse, like straight, lolly, and CP. I asked him if he's okay with these communities, as he said that the furry community is the worst for this case. Of course he said no, thank God, but then he decides to start accusing me of calling him a pedophile because of the hypothetical. We went on a back and forth about it. I gave him a hypothetical and he called it an insinuation. Conversation ended with no conclusion and a comment of me saying, be careful around controversial creators. Every month since, instead of backing down on end, he would ask me to apologize for something that he thinks I did. Basically, after a few months of debating, he DM'd me with an important cryptic message about an quote-unquote expired date. I was busy that day and he said we could only talk for 10 minutes. He then got all offended that I was only giving him 10 minutes and it ended with him still wanting me to apologize. Not just for me anymore, but also for me and my friends. Friends were making really bad jokes about Wolfgang's odd questions he asked in calls. He wanted me to apologize for my friends, so instead we all got in a call and talked it out. I will admit that the call was messy right out the gate, and I was pissed due to the pestering about the apologizing he wasn't getting, and the attitude he gave me during the text. I will take fault for being pissed. The whole argument was around an hour of yelling back and forth, and it's very messy. It ended with me just straight up telling him that I was never his friend after the day of that argument. He revealed the expired date was his suicide pact for closure, and we all told him that suicide was never the answer. It ended with him saying that he only wanted to talk to me and not my hype man, and he left the call. We all blocked him after that. The aftermath was a few people joining call to tell us Wolfgang was at a hardware store looking for a hose to kill himself with. I haven't actually listened to the audio that someone captured because I found it too disturbing. Here's the audio that we listened to at the beginning. Sorry, you have to deal with this. For context, this is suicide bait audio. Yep. I mean, if that audio got out, he would be done. Dude straight up threatened to kill himself only for it to be on the news and ruin y'all's life. It's so fucked up. The thing is, the user that recorded the audio was in a one-on-one call. I don't want them to be dragged into it. That's what I'm afraid of. Blue is seen sharing audio of Wolfgang allegedly suicide baiting, to which Bite is seen highlighting how disgusting it is for him to leverage and threaten suicide as a means to ruin other people's lives and to traumatize them. We've already listened to that. Art sexualizing anatomically correct genitalia depicting knotted canine dog cock. Do we need like a flashbang button? We need a flashbang button for this stream because I'm feeling flashbanged. Okay. Is inherently zoophilic. I mean, come on, man. Dude, I could go to the store and buy a dildo shaped like that right now. I mean, fucking Bad Dragon exists. There's a distinct difference between anthropomorphic furry art with humanoid genitalia and furry art depicting anatomically correct canine cock. Hell, Blank and Blank want to create a website just like Bad Dragon. Are they zoophiles? That is not a good defense, since Bad Dragon is owned and operated by a pedophile zoophile who has cast animal sexual reproductive organs. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're using a dildo that's like a fucking, like, animal, that's probably weird, right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Maybe I am. That's actually not true, but even apart from that, that's what Blank and Blank want to try to do. Casting sex toys based on horsecock, feline cock, and dog cock is inherently a red flag. I would probably agree. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what they want to do, but Blank says it's not true. If you think it's weird, that's fine, but it's not zoophilia. All I know is that the art is concerning. Like, inherently, if you think it's zoophilia, you have a fundamental misunderstanding of how that shit works. So do you want, like, a human to have, like, animal genitalia? Is that what the fetish is? I think it's weird either way. Right? I'm not going to go as far as to say zoophilia, right? But it's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. All right. I was confused on why you'd be fine commissioning an image like that, but call out others. You actually have a fundamental misunderstanding of how that works. I was dissuaded from engaging in sexual-based conversation with you when you posted it. Big difference between a depiction of a four-legged dog getting fucked and an anthropurry with a specifically shaped genitalia lamau. Even if you didn't ask for it, you still commissioned it, did you not? I mean, you could have just simply not asked for it. Genuinely, you cannot be serious with this lamau, laughing while crying emoji. This is not the point you think it is. Dude, it's sexual art depicting animal genitalia. It's fundamentally weird. Why are we talking about the other people? This isn't a good response strategy. Weird is different from zoophilia. Like, you're justified to think it's weird, but you accusing me of a crime is big difference. No, I'm not. You're creating a strawman argument. I said the art is inherently zoophilic, and using Bad Dragon is not a good defense. You're trying to accuse me of being one of the worst things possibly, very falsely. Like, laughably falsely. I would have put it on record. I did not say this is zoophilia. I did not say this is zoophilic. I said it's really weird. Okay, that's as comfortable as I am. That's as far as I'm comfortable going with that. There are numerous commissioned art pieces like that. You cannot just utilize a plausible deniability card. Why don't you see a problem with that kind of artwork? I don't need a fucking plausible deniability card because it's not fucking zoophilia law. Your reasoning fucking sucks law, and it wouldn't hold up. Lamau. What can one possibly say to try to justify that kind of content? I'm asking because I'm curious. I mean, you called creators out who engage with that content down the pipeline, so it's pretty shocking to see that art being commissioned of that stature. I call creators out for getting art of dogs getting fucked. This is not that. Please read what I said again. Content down the pipeline. There's a massive difference between what I call out and this law. Are you meaning to tell me that the only problem is derived from the quadrupedal animalistic creatures in a sexual position and not their genitalia, which is also being depicted? I think if you get art of a human with a penis like that, I see no issue. Penis like what? A not penis. Why do you not see a problem in that? I mean, you can't deny people are going to be sexualizing mainly that organ, because there isn't a problem with it, Lamau, and deriving sexual satisfaction from that. It's literally a canine genitalia, is it not? And is it attached to a feral quadrupedal dog? Why must the sexualization of animalistic sexual reproductive organs be normalized or defended? Why can't you simply disavow it? I mean, the majority of people aren't going to be defending that kind of stuff. Where are we going with this? What's going on? I said it was zoophilia before the show started. Nice, dude. You can't make that argument with furries in general. Why are people sexualizing characters that have animal characteristics? I think there's a major difference between anthropomorphic characters and anatomically correct canine cocks. Dude, he has to stop saying anatomically correct canine cocks. It's kind of a little twister. It's a word twister. But these furry characters are anatomically correct. They have tails and muzzles and dog ears. I think you know what parts of the art are going to be specifically sexualized. People sexualize muzzles, Lamau. They make fleshlights of muzzles. Is that zoophilic? This party is scary. Water break. I'm almost out. Wolfgang is seen attempting to deflect the topic to his close mutuals while also using the animal cast dildo manufactured Bad Dragons as a defense, normalizing this behavior and claiming that consuming artwork sexualizing canine genitalia is not a problem. We can argue semantical theoreticals for ages. Whoever said Socrates versus Plato is so right, dude. This is crazy. We can argue semantical theoreticals for ages to jump around the subject, but I think you know that the art is not morally acceptable. The furry community is not some community you can base moral subjectivity on. Lamau, the community is pretty well known for how much of a mess it is. Why are you ignoring the direct one-to-one comparison? And furries in general will still have a problem with that kind of content. No, they don't. Muzzles does not equal knots. I'm going to choose not to add on to this because I don't know what I'm talking about, but to me, you want a dog mouth on your cock? It's like a muzzle? I'm just not going to say anything. I'm not going to. I'm not trying to get into bite off more I can chew here. They fucking absolutely do not. They do. But both are anatomically accurate parts of the animal that furry sexualize. How can a muzzle be anatomical? It's an accessory and an item. A dog knot is part of a dog, but a muzzle is an accessory. You cannot be unironically comparing and conflating two completely separate things. Do you know what anatomical means? They're not completely separate. It's like a direct one-on-one comparison. You're so hung up on easily the worst point you've tried to make. How is this the worst point? Like, objectively, you have not provided any good defense or rebuttal. Like, how hard is it to simply disavow content like that? All I've seen, in all honesty, is you go blank and blank do the same thing, with blank literally saying that's not true at all. Blank said it was not truthful and it lacked context. And blank is saying it is. Listen, I do not want this public just like I know you don't. Not only would this destroy one of our careers, but it's insanely embarrassing for both of us. Am I wrong? Oh. Why are you boasting that if it came out, you'd serve to lose nothing and that I would be destroyed? Because in my eyes, that's how it would be. You made an uncredited allegation when all evidence goes against you, and while you disagree with either the zoophilia claim, the general public would find the accusation dumb. Wolfgang continued to defend the artwork as well as getting into a semantic-based argument to justify it. He also attempted to once again deflect the situation onto mutuals and close friends, Pink and Grain, despite them claiming that he's openly lying about it. Okay. Peter 1? Who the fuck is Peter? Are you talking about Peter Griffin? Peter Griffin? Alright. Wolfgang is then seen once again stating that I do not want this public like I know you don't. In my eyes, you know how to be uncredited allegation, blah, blah, blah. None of that is true. It is, though. And you can agree with this or disagree, but the fact of the matter is that we would both have to publicly fight over it in front of all of these creators. You were even maligning me in private, trying to twist the situation into a rape allegation. You were making a strawman argument and attempting to preemptively shoot it down to make me look like a malicious liar. I do believe that you're malicious, and from what everyone has told me, that's what this allegation sums down to. I heard Graham go call it that. The document, which serves to be the only written claims I've made, I never called you a zoophile either. It had zoophilia as a trigger warning, but only to describe the images. So you may not have put the accusations to the words, but other people have, and other people will. Just like I've received jokes for treating you like anything but a lockout, and I've not tried to preemptively shoot anything down, I've tried my best to resolve this in private. Have I been too chatty at times? Yeah, which I've apologized to blank for. But like I said, if this does go public, it becomes a blood sports match between you and I. Don't you agree? You're the only one, from what it seems, to literally everyone I've spoken to that wants it to become public. Yes, because it's massively impacting my life. You literally threatened to blank that you will make it public unless you have a call in 24 hours. That is not a threat. That's my tired of the bullshit and false accusations, Lamau. I have not falsely accused you anywhere. We're gonna have a call or else I publicize all the false claims you made about me is not a threat, Lamau. Isn't that verbatim a threat, though? Like, I mean, you can think you're justified in it, but... Okay. Despite Wolfgang on multiple occasions saying that he wished this to remain private and for it to be sorted out behind closed doors, he is then seen contradicting himself, saying that he does want it to become public. Wolfgang is then seen stating that he was not pressuring or threatening Green into a call by stating if he declined, he would make the situation public, making him causing him to start panicking my messages. Do you want to hop in call with me and blank? I'm turning TTS back on, guys. TTS is back. I need some bright light in this world because I'm getting, you know, it's like the fucking Robert Frost poem. I'm like stopping by the woods on a snowy evening and I have miles to go before I sleep. That's how I feel right now. Do you want to hop on call with me and blank? So I'm not the only person talking to commentary people. Huh. I've been out with friends getting drunk and I come to see in my DMs that blank is panicking because of the shit you're saying to them. The 2 people that you spoke to first came to me. Yes, because you were leaking this shit to everyone. 4 people. I talked to 4 people, lol. Who's the 4th? Now there's a 4th? Is it Dickers? Is it Dickers? I want to see if he's alright, and I'm certainly not in the right headspace to talk about anything in call. I don't feel well, and I have a hangover right now. Alright. You're adding onto the stress right now with the constant prodding. Yeah, because I never want to hear this situation again. If this becomes public, everyone's lives are going to get so fucking needlessly shittier. This should have been resolved a month ago that we can agree on, which is why I'm here to have this convo. Wolfgang was seen offering to call me, to which I declined because I did not feel well after having it. Oh, hi. Oh, thanks for becoming a member, Local Cryptid. Appreciate it, man. God, that scared me. Wolfgang was seen offering
my dick so far down your throat.
Oh, thanks for the
you're not
2.
gonna be able to talk for a week, okay?
All right, here you go.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Wolfgang was seen offering to call me, which I declined. I did not feel well after having a hangover that already felt panic, stressed, and uncomfortable. Wolfgang was seen acknowledging this and even agreeing that if the situation became public, it would benefit no one. Wolfgang was seen stating that he never wants to hear this situation again, yet he's gone around to many commentary YouTubers discussing the nature of the situation, as well as having made and released a preempted Google document attempting to get ahead of the situation. My point is actually... Oh, it's me again! Wow. My point is actually to mitigate this becoming public, and say that I have zero intention of talking about this all going forward. Internet Adjacent was seen consistently lying about him wanting to keep the situation private. His message after our conversation to Himpleton shows that this is fully acknowledged that we both were going to remain private about this extremely personal and sensitive situation. Serious situation. This aged poorly. Future boyfriend. Okay. Hey, I'm still in class. Damn, how long for? Maybe like 5 minutes, but then I gotta stop at Target to grab ointment. What? What? Okay. I get you. I'm just playing Fortnite right now. Lucky. I just got out. Got to stop at Target, then I can join you. Want to call here or Discord? Hi. Hey. Internet Adjacent being seen having my contact as future boyfriend. This is despite my hesitancy towards any relationship before we even met. He rushed into what he perceived to be a relationship with me, despite me making it clear I wanted boundaries before anything like that happened. Who has a girlfriend? I have no idea, but I think I got chlamydia again. What? What? Insert flashbang sound. Insert flashbang sound. Okay. Oh shit. Get your bloods back. Nah, I don't get tested until the 7th, but do you remember that femboy I told you about? Oh yeah. He said something about how he may have gotten an STD a while ago and he ghosted me ever since because since I cured mine, I have only had sex with him. Wolfgang is seen mentioning how he has another STD scare to his mutual friend, fearing he has contracted chlamydia for a second time. He did not disclose his history of STDs with me before engaging in intercourse with me. This basic lack of transparency makes me extremely sickened and stressed. Oh. Oh. Yeah. What the fuck is this? And it's on 6-7. Do you see that? It's on 6-7. That's crazy. 6-7, guys. 6-7 means fucking dog penis now. Wolfgang sending me more examples of unsolicited pornography with the canine genitalia to mutuals of his. This document has not gone public. It will only become public if Wolfgang instigates the situation and makes it public to preemptively get ahead of the situation. I said this on 16th of October. This document has been made after Wolfgang has attempted to make a preemptive Google document insulting me, maligning me, and obfuscating key information and lying about me 9th of November. Wolfgang's current pattern of behavior seems to be attempting to bring up unrelated situations to deflect the topic of conversation and use ad hominems. Wolfgang also uses ointment on his penis as he has terrible skincare and rashes. He did not inform me of this beforehand. What, dude, those last lines, what the fuck? Wow. Okay, so that's our 75 pages. We're gonna let Internet Adjacent call in now. Let me tell him to call in. And in the meantime, I'm going to read Super Chats. But I'm going to wait on him. So, guys, if you have any questions that I do not bring up, I'll try to be looking at chat. But if I don't ask your question, just make sure and, what's it called? Super Chat. Even if it's just $2, just let me know. Kathy, you are not getting in this. Okay, listen, Jason, before I get into this, I'm reading Super Chats real quick. Hold on. Sorry. So, Internet Adjacent says, I'll debunk the Alex stuff in a bit. Take 9 says, thanks for being a good boyfriend, thanks. Himpleton, you knew and did nothing. I plead the fifth. There has been no debunking of the situation yet, just getting caught up on done details, bro. That was about the Anthrocon stuff. Thanks, Ace. How will this affect LeBlanc's legacy? Thanks, Soul Skibbity. Cryptid for a membership. Stay strong, King. You can make it through this. Maybe you should have gotten a bottle for this, though. I know. I'm a dumbass. And then $2 from Pink Circle. All right, here you go. Thank you very much for all the donos. Let's get into it. All right. IA.
I want to quickly say real quick. I am out right now, so that's why my audio quality is kind of shit. So if I sound fucked up, just know that's why.
Okay.
So what do you? I mean, obviously, I'm going to be making a video on this Google Doc because I only was able to dip in and out a bit, but I've definitely heard things that are far beyond true. So what do you want to ask me first?
I guess let's start out with like what we just read. Do you have chlamydia?
No, I do not have chlamydia.
So you tested negative?
I had it at one point, and I took.
Oh, he's breaking up. You're breaking up. Oof.
Took antibiotics, and I no longer have it. Shit.
Oh, no, you're good. We heard that. We heard that. So, no, but we're talking...
Okay.
I'm not talking about the first time you got chlamydia. I'm talking about the most recent time with the femboy.
No, I do not have an STD.
So
I tested negative.
You tested negative. Okay. That's what I asked. That's what I was asking.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
I told Parlo that in DMs, by the way. If I need to provide that screenshot, I can.
I guess, man. I don't know. I mean, if you say that, sure. Why don't you provide that? Why don't you give that to me? When you can. I get that you're out. That's fine. So let's see. What else?
I mean, like anything you want to ask me, because.
Well, listen, man. I've been reading. I kind of thought you would like be listening to it for the most part.
I mean, I've been at work. I'm a little.
So.
I'm a little caught up right now.
Okay. Distinct difference. What do you have to say about like the whole furry thing? Since that was for some reason like 20 pages of that doc.
The Anthrocon thing?
No. The canine genitalia stuff.
I mean, it's not zoophilia. It's not. So I don't really know how else I can. I mean, how do I debunk something that's just inherently not true?
Okay, fair enough.
It's like it's like I said, they sell those types of like sex toys at stores all the time. Like
it's not zoophilia. You can say it's weird, and if your position is it's kind of weird, then I mean I can't take that away from you, but it's not zoophilia.
Okay, I mean fair enough. So let's see. You said that you're gonna debunk the Alex stuff. What is that about?
So the Alex stuff was like one of the first days that this happened is I reached out to Alex to talk about this whole thing, and one of the things I told them was about a private matter in regards to like a different vacation. When I told this, I was under the circumstance that this was true. I was later told on that while this was true at one point, it no longer was true, but I was not told that.
Okay. Okay.
And this is that's actually something that I did apologize for behind the scenes for it happening in the first place.
Okay. Can you I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
The Alex stuff, when I told them the private stuff, it was true at one point, but it had become false, and I was not aware that it was no longer true.
What private stuff?
It was in regards to a separate vacation. I was only told that they were going to be there for a day, and I told them that. I was like, people only want you there for like a day. Right? It really. Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, okay, wait. Guys, hold on. Guys, chat's doing that thing where it's glitching, so I'm gonna stop stream and then fucking restart it. Hold on. Because everybody's gonna have questions and nobody can ask them, so I'm gonna restart stream real quick. Alright. Pile into the new one. It's happening literally right away.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be a new one. Hold on, give me a sec.
Able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're fine.
All right.
A new one. Hold on, give me a sec.
Able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just hold, give me a second.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to end the stream like this.